Hey, what's going on, Klein and Ellie?
Are you ready?
Hello, Klein and Ellie, you little bitch.
Klein and Ellie, it's just okay.
Just don't let things bother you too much.
Good morning, everybody.
Whoa, sweet David Steak, did you see that?
Viva the Klein and Ellie show.
Let's get the show started. The show started.
We are live in Los Angeles. 3, 2, 1. And here we go.
Shaquille, I hate Charles Barkley O'Neal.
6.7 KROQ-FM in HD Pasadena, Los Angeles, Orange County.
The Sonic Pulse of Los Angeles.
This is the world-famous K-Rock.
Oh, yeah, welcome to your Tuesday on K-Rock, Klein Alley Show. Good morning. How the hell goes it? You can listen to us on 106.7, stream us on krock.com, or perhaps you want to watch what this monstrosity looks like.
If you're a voyeur.
Live on YouTube right now as well for your viewing displeasure, and you can see everything that happens here in the K-Rock studios. It's going to be a jam-packed show today. The great Billy Corgan of Smashing Pumpkins will be on with us a little bit later this morning. Ben Gleeb will be hosting the first ever YouTube-based late-night talk show. The evolution of late night is here, as we're finding out. You know, this is the week that I think Stephen Colbert officially signs off. And so Ben Gleeb will be coming into the studio a little bit later to talk about the evolution of late-night TV. And we have lots to give you today. If you want tickets, we got them for you. Get you into Smashing Pumpkins shows at the Kia Forum. Get you into the Warner Brothers studio lot so you can enjoy that new Superman interactive experience. Or Wild Rivers plus Cabana plus $100 food and beverage credit. All in your future this morning on K-Rock.
It's always nice to hear from people who enjoy listening to the show and say they listen every morning, and to think that they would abandon us in a heartbeat if there was a better prize somewhere else.
Oh, yeah. I mean, let's be honest. If you're just one of them prize piggies looking around for cash and gas, I'm sure. In fact, are we doing gas, Vanessa? I know we wanted to fill up a lot of people's tanks before Memorial Day weekend. I know we have some of those gift cards, but we were trying to get thousands and thousands of dollars worth of gas to hook you guys up with so you can get the hell out of here and not have to think about it this weekend.
I know the boss mentioned it.
What's the update on our gas? I know currently we're up to 4 gallons, and we said that's not going to cut it. We need more than 4 gallons to give to the people.
Yeah.
So
I think I paid $80 for 12.
I got gas.
Okay.
All right. I think that's a verbal confirmation that we have some gas.
Vanessa's going to pay for all the gas.
That's good. Thank you, Vanessa. Very generous of you. We'll update you, but hopefully we can take care of that. Our way of saying thanks for listening, because it's hilarious every time we do that.
Thanks.
Thanks for listening. On the show today, we will get into everything we have in store for you, including Allie's almost evacuation. Were you going to come to my house? Where was your plan if you got evacuated?
I hadn't even gotten that far yet.
What level were you at?
I didn't have a bag.
Were you at the,
I was at the ready. There's a ready, set, go.
You were at the ready
I was at the ready.
Oh. Well,
the neighborhood next to us was at the set position.
Oh, boy. Excitement in Southern California.
KROQ.
Klein Alley Show.
Mornings on K-Rock.
K-Rock. Yeah!
K-Rock.
And you are not currently comatose. Give us a call, 800-520-1067. You get to Battle Alley for her own $100 and answer some questions about things happening in the world. You may learn a thing or two. That's the one rub here, is it could be educational. We don't try it.
Sneak it up on you.
We don't want it to be, but you may learn a thing or two about what's happening in the world, and if you already know some things, well, prove it and take Allie's money. We'll get to that in a moment at 800-520-1067. You couldn't do worse. I know a lot of people don't call because they don't want to embarrass themselves, and they're afraid if they call and they sound like an idiot, we'll make fun of them forever. But if you remember on Friday, Allie, we had a couple of women that were battling each other in a round of Beat Your Boss. I think they were lawyers.
Yeah.
And they got a lot of questions wrong, including what is
the tallest mountain?
And she said 9 feet. That was one of the many dumb things that were said. And people are so fired up now about these people that joined us, because now they say if these are actual lawyers, we are all screwed.
Yeah, I'm calling about the lawyers you guys had on Friday's show. Can you guys give me the name of that law firm so I never, ever go there? Because I have never met people that are that stupid in my entire life. You don't know 4% of 100?
Yeah,
Two people didn't know it, and one of them's a lawyer. What the hell is going on? What world do we live in? Jesus Christ, man. Strip these people of their title and send them home, because that's stupid.
I don't know the law firm they work at, but I do know that neither of them were able to get the correct answer as to what is 4% of 100.
Definitely don't trust a bill that you receive from that law firm, because clearly they can't calculate
So it was a rough one. In fact, someone is concerned now that if they ever cross paths with Johnny, we will create a new species.
Yeah, I just got done listening to Beat Your Boss, and I was thinking we need to keep these girls away from Johnny because it would be like the Keymaster and Gatekeeper from Ghostbusters. If they were to reproduce, we would have probably the dumbest children on the face of the earth. So
possible.
Let's make sure these people never get together because, wow, I couldn't believe the dumbness of those two ladies, and they're actually lawyers. So
here's the good news.
Wow, I thought lawyers were smarter than that, but I guess not.
A lot of people after hearing that segment said, I'm going to become a lawyer because apparently it's super easy.
I think once Kim Kardashian decided she wanted to be a lawyer, everyone was like, the dum-dums can do it.
Anyone can do it, I guess.
But I think she failed at it, didn't she?
She did, yeah. I think she's failed multiple times.
Look good doing it, though.
That's right. That's all that matters. If you'd like Allie's money and you, by the way, the bar is set pretty low, so you wouldn't worry about embarrassing yourself too much. We promise you not to ask what the tallest mountain is or what is 4% of 100.
No, but I'm going to get some answers right, and I'll look good doing it,
no,
right?
No, you will not.
Uh-oh.
If you want Allie's money, call now, 800-520-1067. We're back with 5 questions, your $100, and bragging rights for life after this on K-Rock.
Hey, it's Billy Corgan from the Smashing Pumpkins.
Listen at 9, noon, 3, and 6 for your chance to win tickets to see the Smashing Pumpkins on the Rats in a Cage tour, November 12th, Kia Forum.
We now like to play a song for you that you might have heard on K-Rock.
Wanna go for a ride? 2 unique sets celebrating 30 years of Mellon Collie and the Infinite Sadness and nearly 4 decades of unruly hits and dark treasures. Courtesy of Live Nation.
All week on K-Rock. Win tickets to see us.
At 9, noon, 3, and 6 to win tickets to the Smashing Pumpkins at Kia Forum.
Only on the world-famous K-Rock.
Hey, what's up? It's Gwen Stefani, and you are listening to Klein Alley Show on the world-famous K-Rock.
Fresh from the performances at the Sphere in Las Vegas. Johnny was there this past weekend. Allie's off to go this weekend. In fact, later this morning, Allie's super hot cousin, who she will be going to Vegas with, who knows how to do Vegas in a totally different way than Allie does, is going to be joining us to explain all of her getting ready for Vegas tips, which Allie was shocked to learn about. And this is what hot women do when they go to Vegas. Allie was unaware of this. She was going to wear one outfit on the plane. That was going to be her Vegas outfit for the entire weekend.
Well, actually, my outfits were all going to be layered because I was going to be on Spirit Airlines.
Oh, right. You weren't going to pay for the bag.
No, I was going to layer all the outfits and wear them all at once on the airplane. And now that that's out, I'm going to bring a carry-on. But I didn't realize for 48 hours in Vegas, she is bringing not one big suitcase, but 2.
2 big suitcases.
2?
For 48 hours. That's 1 massive suitcase a day. I bet you both of them will be over the 50-pound weight limit as well. And we're going to learn a thing or two because when I heard Allie just breaking down some of the plans for Vegas with her hot cousin, you have to hear this. It is.
Well, I wasn't going to plan anything. She was like, what are we doing Sunday during the day? Which pool party are we going to? Yep. I was like, the pool attached to the hotel?
Totally different.
No, you guys are going to see one of the biggest DJs in the world.
Maybe. I don't know. We've already been invited to all this stuff.
Keep in mind, when Allie plans Vegas, they go to the Titanic Museum and see Blue Man Group.
We did.
So it's a very different experience.
I got pictures of the Titanic and I saw the bodies exhibit.
That'll be coming up later this morning. Oh, there'll be a totally different bodies exhibit if you go to the pool with your cousin. Trust me. Let's say hi to Fabian this morning from Pasadena. Give Fabian a chance to take some of Allie's cash and prove you know what's happening in the world. What's up, Fabian?
Hey, good morning.
Good morning. Allie will leave the K-Rock studios. Sweet divots to you and yours. Once she's out of here and that door is shut, your questions will officially begin. Please answer these questions quickly, confidently, and accurately. Hopefully we pay you $100 when Allie returns. We'll score it together, and here we go.
Allie knows the news.
All right, this man whose name was first probably put on our radar during the OJ Simpson trial has died at the age of 74. Which man from the O.J. Simpson trial is now dead as of the last 24 hours?
Johnny Cochran.
Johnny Cochran. We go to question number 2. There's a new list out of the coolest celebrity, and this celebrity is on top of the list with over 70% approval rating based on our definition of the word cool. Which celebrity tops the new cool list, which came out?
Dwayne Johnson.
Dwayne The Rock Johnson. As we go to question number 3, Goldfish Crackers have just collabed with what? And they'll be dropping a very limited edition collab Goldfish Cracker. Who has Goldfish collabed with this time?
Takis.
Takis. Those are delicious. We go to question number 4. A SoCal family was just offered a $19 refund from Amazon after receiving what shocking package in the mail from Amazon?
A dildo.
A dildo. Great guess. And we go to this final question. This doll is getting its own podcast because everyone else has a podcast. Why shouldn't a doll? To celebrate its 25th anniversary. What doll is joining the podcast game?
Cabbage Patch.
Cabbage Patch. All right, you did have answers. I appreciate that. Are they right or are they wrong? We'll find out as Allie re-enters the K-Rock studios, and we will score it together. Once again, $100 could be yours. Allie's been sequestered, so she didn't hear anything you said, didn't hear the questions. And let's see how you did and how you do. $100 on the line. Question number 1, Allie. This man, whose name you probably first learned during the OJ Simpson trial, has died at the age of 74.
Oh, my God. Do I have to name him?
Yeah, that's the question. What's the man's name?
God.
What else would the question be? True or false?
What was he on the witness stand for?
I mean, the guy's name is the question.
I know it's Fuhrman. Mark, is it Mark Fuhrman?
Oh, wow. All right.
I couldn't remember if it's Mike or Mark.
You didn't have any confidence, but you gave us the right answer. Racist cop Mark Fuhrman.
Yes,
Congratulations.
Okay.
He said Johnny Cochran. Sadly, Johnny Cochran, I think, died years ago.
He did. Was he the guy that found the glove?
Fuhrman was one of the guys who, quote, found the glove.
Right.
We got a question number 2. It's weird because in that particular case, I do feel like O.J. Simpson definitely did it, but also there was still a lot of shady police work.
This racist cop is like, I found a glove.
Right. But they could have just...
Bad luck.
Too bad they didn't have Ring doorbell cams. It would have solved this case.
It really would have, yeah.
Question number 2. Allie's up 1-0 as we go to question 2. A new list has been released of the coolest celebrities, according to the general public. This man got a 70% approval rating, making this person the coolest of the celebrities, according to the general public. Who is it?
It's got to be The Rock.
So funny. He said Dwayne The Rock Johnson, too. You guys are wrong.
Ooh, can I guess?
Yeah, go ahead.
Samuel Jackson?
That guy from Mad Men? What, I forget his name.
John Hamm?
John Hamm.
Yeah, John Hamm.
Yeah, he's supposedly cool. Has a huge hog, too.
Yeah.
Really?
That's what they say.
Cool.
Oh, okay.
Thanks for that.
Allie,
Come up on your feet, or?
That's one of those rumors that's been circulating
No,
around.
I have heard that, too.
I would hire... there should be a whole PR firm that just circulates rumors about guys having huge hogs.
I think there's a social media for his hog.
Dolph Lundgren, legendary, has a huge dong, too.
He's number 1 on the list, Omar. You got it. Dolph Lundgren. Now, Allie, you said it as your second guess. Samuel L. Jackson. Number 1 on the list of cool celebrities. As we move to question number 3, Allie still up 1-0. Goldfish Crackers have just collabed with what? We'll be dropping a limited edition cracker.
Oh, man.
Who is it?
I saw this, too. Is it Pokemon?
To celebrate the 30th anniversary, Goldfish Crackers are collabing with Pokemon. Sadly, Fabian guessed Takis. And we go to question number 4. Allie's up 2-0 right now.
Is that the 30th anniversary of Pokemon or Goldfish?
I think it's the 30th anniversary of Pokemon. Goldfish, I think, were around since, like, the Great Depression.
Is that true? Wow.
It seems like they've been around forever. That was like one of those...
We can't catch any real fish, so here's some cheesy ones.
Eat these. We go to question 4. A SoCal family has been offered $19 as a refund from Amazon after receiving what shocking package from Amazon?
Piece of crap?
Piece of crap. He guessed a dildo. Both would be shocking packages to receive. They ordered an urn, and the urn
yes, I saw this.
was
the wrong
already
person?
filled with someone's ashes. And the result, they said after, doing the whole, I need a return, what's the reason why? There's a dead body in my urn. They said, well, we'll give you back a refund.
Would you like to bring that back to Whole Foods?
Yeah.
Or would you like a UPS shipping center?
No one gets the point, and we go to this final question. This doll is getting its own podcast because everyone else has a podcast, so why not this doll to celebrate its 25th anniversary?
Man, a lot of anniversaries.
A lot of anniversaries.
Barbie? I don't know.
Barbie? No, 25 Barbie? Barbie's
I
been
guess
around
Barbie's like 50
forever.
years old, huh?
Barbie's
Is
been
it
around.
Chucky?
It's not Chucky. That'd be a great guess.
Man.
It's. I bet you Vanessa's a big fan of this doll, Bratz.
Oh.
The Bratz dolls.
They're the bad girls.
The bad girls. They're the fun ones.
Because the American girls were the pure ones, and the Bratz ones were the alternative ones.
Anyway, Fabian, you put in a decent effort, but your final score is 0, which means Allie holds on to her money, at least for now. What must you shamefully admit over the airwaves of K-Rock? Go ahead.
This is Fabian from Pasadena, and Allie knows the news.
Tomorrow morning at this time. There goes my mic. Tomorrow morning.
Did you just turn off your mic?
I turned off my own mic. I was done. I was done with the segment.
It's like I'm working with Kevin Ryder all over again.
Your body knew.
I said, you know what? This guy's got nothing else to say. I'm going to turn off my mic again. We got more show to get into, believe it or not, and let me tell you all about it right.
Oh, there it is. Wise
Come on,
decision.
guys, I'm still here.
Klein Alley Show.
Mornings on K-Rock.
Yeah!
K-Rock.
The great Billy Corgan of Smashing Pumpkins has just announced a big nationwide tour. We will get you into that tour, at least when it stops in Los Angeles at the Forum later this morning. And Billy Corgan will be on with us in a little less than an hour. So if you got any questions for Smashing Pumpkins frontman, wrestling aficionado, and all-around good bald guy, you can let us know what you want us to ask Billy Corgan. Trust me when I say your questions will probably be better than the ones we've come up with.
Oh, yeah.
And so that'll be coming up a little bit later this morning. You can text us at 800-520-1067. If you're just joining us, this is Klein Alley Show, and Allie has once again done something to humiliate herself and embarrass her child.
Oh, I'm not humiliated at all.
You should be. I mean, you really should be. And I tried to set you up, and I tried to tell you when I witnessed you do this.
We've talked about this with the germ guy, and he said everything I did was fine.
The germ guy is letting you know from a germ perspective that you are perhaps not necessarily spreading germs, but from a society and just a social norms perspective, what you are doing is no good.
I don't normally shop at Sprouts. It's not one of my go-tos. I find it to be a little pricey. Of course, yeah, they've got organic stuff, blah, blah, blah. I had to get something there, so I decided to do my shop there, and I had my kid with me, so I let him know that there was a magical line of bins that had all kinds of chocolate and treats galore, and that he could choose something and pick, and we would get a bag of it.
If you've never been to a Sprouts before, they've got like an aisle or 2 aisles that are just filled with like barrels that you could scoop in. And you could take anything from nuts to gummy bears to...
Oh, there's chocolate-covered almonds, and they basically have M&Ms, their version of M&Ms. It's just candy, basically. And then they have another aisle that's like beans.
Right,
no one cares about.
Beans.
Yeah.
It's just all dry beans.
I like to tell my kids they can go, and then I pick the aisle, and I say, you can only pick out of the beans and rice aisle.
And they're like, oh, millet.
You can't go to the one next door that's just full of different gummies and chocolates. But I have all the millet.
All the farro and millet
If you want some oats, you can go nuts on those oats.
So I go up to the good aisle, and I say, look at all this, Wesley. What do you want to pick out? And he opens one, and he takes something out, and he puts it in his mouth. And I said, what do you think?
He put his disgusting kid germ hand in the bin?
He put his hand in there.
Yeah. And
there was another man on the other side of the aisle, a man who worked there, a Sprouts employee.
Yeah, they have to have a lifeguard watching those bins to stop
I never see the lifeguards.
Don't they have scoopers?
Yeah, of course they do, Omar. Yes, but Allie, as you know,
well, my kid doesn't know that yet.
From the fruit platter incident, this
but you're
runs in
supervising your child.
Right, it's on you.
I was about to tell him that.
About to?
The scoopers.
You do the same.
Right,
Allie,
you
do the same thing. I watched Allie walk over to a fruit platter and start. And even
I
though
picked off 2 grapes.
There was tongs there. Clearly, serve it. You don't know. You don't seem to understand the whole purpose.
I only touched the grapes I was eating.
It's still. If anyone's looking, they go, "This woman is digging into this fruit platter with her bare ass hands."
No,
gross
only
hands.
you were thinking that because you're paranoid.
No, because you're Poogers. That's your nickname. You don't wash your hands.
And this is Poogers Jr.
Yeah, well, it's a terrible thing that you're passing down to your next.
Raising a new Poogers.
The whole point, if you're going to have a kid, is just don't raise an asshole. Make whoever you're raising be less of an ass than you are. That's always the goal.
Okay.
Try to. I'm not doing a great job at my house, but you should try.
How can a kid control himself around a bunch of bins like that? Every kid, no matter what, even if you tell them about the scooper, they're going to want to grab.
But it was your idea.
I told him to go over there and take a look. I didn't realize that he was going to immediately open and put his hand in there, and then the employee peeped over and he said, just so you know, there's free samples, but you have to use the scooper.
Right, of course.
And I was like, yeah, I got it. And then I had to do the whole like, Wesley, there's a scooper. You have to use the scooper. And then I had to proceed to sample all of the other bins by telling him to wait, get the little scoop out 2 little Sprouts branded M&Ms, teach him to put his hand out and all that stuff. He didn't even understand the concept because it's such a process.
How dumb is your kid?
All you have to go.
He doesn't understand the concept of a scooper.
Well, he just
In
wants
the Poogers household.
Yeah, the Poogers household.
we grab and go. We're a grab and go house.
We believe in poopers, not scoopers.
Okay. So the fact that you have to take the thing out, scoop the thing, like it's so much easier to just pick one.
I love that.
You need.
I love that you're so defensive of the whole concept that you're only touching what you take it, only taking what you're putting your hand
Well,
into.
those big malt balls. You just grab one and eat it.
Yeah, Allie, do you realize how gross? If you saw another person, I know it's your own gross, so no one understands their own gross. But if you're walking by any sort of a place that's got a community bin like that, and you just watch a stranger, you don't know what they did with those hands, sneezing, picking boogers all day. And they just reach in, even if their argument is, I only took the one I touched.
Yeah,
you're watching a stranger.
They're not touching other ones.
Oh my God, that's so gross. You're so gross.
You ever put your whole hand in the chocolate covered raisins? It's a cool feeling.
Oh my God! It is honestly, you should be banned.
It's just
They got to put your picture up
swirl
there.
it around, and then you pick the ones you want.
God.
High-key, I do that too. And I used to hide the beans.
Oh my God.
In the beans.
Johnny.
When I was a kid, I would do that.
See, everybody does it, especially when they're kids.
But it's a universal feeling to like hide the bean scooper at Vallarta. You have to like dig it in there and like hide it so nobody could find it.
That's what I'm talking about.
But are you not all
This guy knows.
Are you all equally grossed out when you watch a stranger not use the serving thing? I mean, I know that the whole and they couldn't make.
I don't even pay attention to
Well,
it.
you-
I don't think about it or pay attention to it,
Well-
and that's why I live my life in ignorant bliss. But the thing is, he picked peanut butter cups. Great choice. He filled up his little baggie. I put the little number on it. Yes, I paid. And then
Did you use the real number? Because that's a big scam. People
I did
pull.
use the real number. I used the real number, and there were a few things that I scanned that were, quote, not organic, that ended up being organic when I bought them.
Because when I first
There's
learned
a
learned about Allie's cheapness, it was when she used to change out stickers on avocados, so she would pay the non-organic price.
Well, the organic price is ridiculous.
That is called capitalism. That's what they're charging.
These grocery prices are out. They're insane. We cannot be expected to live like
Don't
this.
buy an
I
avocado.
create my own prices.
Okay, well, you are the problem.
the
Not
problem-
part of the problem. You are the problem.
The real problem is that I put the chocolate-covered peanut butter cups on top of the rotisserie chicken, and everything would melted into a giant mess by the time I got home. So, joke's on me.
You can't go. That's called karma, bitch.
Now I've got one giant peanut butter cup. It's
Sounds
awesome.
delicious. We take a quick break. When we return, we've got your news. Then we start giving you stuff. And yes, I agree with all of the text line, Allie. If you would like to be shamed appropriately, please refer yourself over to the 800-520-1067 text line. Back in a moment. More show next. Find out what's going on in the world with a check of your ADD news. Then a brand new hour of the show can officially begin. That'll be a good hour to lock in on K-Rock. Billy Corgan, Smashing Pumpkins, on with us. Tickets to their upcoming shows that are not even available yet to purchase, but we will get you locked in for that. And Clickbait, as we solve the Internet's biggest problems and mysteries. We will get to all of that coming up. But first, there's this.
Grab your Adderall. It's time for ADD News.
So, unfortunately, yesterday there was some breaking news in the afternoon. There are crazy people in this world, and 2 of them were able to do some damage and get into a mosque in San Diego and take innocent lives. Very hateful. 2 hateful and disturbed teenagers, 17 and 18 years old, took 3 lives, killed 3 people at the Islamic Center of San Diego. It's the biggest mosque in San Diego County. They came up to the building, they shot the security guard, who then fell and then got back up and went inside, which they say helped others realize there was an emergency and helped them get to safety. So they view this security guard as a hero. There was also a landscaper that was across the street who was shot at, but it ricocheted off his helmet and likely saved his life. Then later on, they found the shooters dead in a car down the street. They had died from self-inflicted gunshot wounds. Apparently, there was a lot of hate speech around. There was a hate crime, and there was also a suicide note. So I'm sure there's going to be more information about that. That's released today and tomorrow. And there was a woman, a mother, who hours before this happened, called the San Diego police and said, my son and his friend took a bunch of guns from our house and took my car and left the house dressed in camo. I think they're going to do something bad. Please go find them. So they were looking for these teenagers even before an incident had occurred. And at least the silver lining is that some parents are becoming more aware of any warning signs or shady activity, because I feel like some of the shootings that have happened in years past, a lot of the parents just had no idea, and now maybe they're being a little more vigilant.
Or, what's so frustrating a lot of times is that there were tip-offs that were given that were either ignored
right.
or, not properly vetted.
And it seems this wasn't ignored. They weren't able to find them before this happened, but at least they were looking for them and doing something about it.
And
it's just so disturbing that teenagers are this messed up in the head already.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's just keep happening younger and younger. It's wild. Okay, remember Punch the Monkey, the reject baby monkey that resorted to an IKEA stuffed animal for emotional comfort after being rejected by its family? The monkey is doing fine now, but there is a new incident at the zoo, and this actually doesn't have to do with the monkey at all. It has to do with idiot humans, and of course the idiots are American.
There is new drama involving the very viral Punch the Monkey in Japan.
2 Americans have been arrested after one of them, dressed in a costume, allegedly climbed into the monkey's habitat at the Ichikawa City Zoo yesterday. Another man who was filming the stunt was also arrested because they're probably influencers and thought this would make good content.
This comes as the New York Times reports that starting tomorrow, the zoo will restrict the viewing area at the enclosure housing Punch.
Oh. She's really upset about
Not happy about that.
She was going to go. Her big trip is now canceled.
I was thinking about it as I was at the LA Zoo this past weekend, and I really, now my thing is, I think to myself, how would I get in and out of each habitat? I don't plan on doing it.
Really?
But I think to myself, I can climb into this.
So I don't know how you'd get into this because there's even more.
And will install intrusion prevention nets and institute permanent patrols. Look what they have to do.
We can't have anything, can we?
She's
really
she's
so upset,
about
that woman.
this.
Bummed out.
But nets? So you wouldn't... The problem is there's so much safety in place that you can't see what's going on in the enclosure. You're so far away, and there's a glass partition, and then there's nets, and then there's patrols, and then, of course, there's other people. So how are you going to see Little Punch?
Well, you know how they do the thing before prom where they put the destroyed car in front of the school to let everyone know about the dangers of drinking and driving, and you show up to your school and all of a sudden there's like I don't know if they do this. I think they do it here too. They did it back in my school, but there'd be like a totaled car in front of the school, and they were like, "Don't drink and drive on prom weekend."
Oh, there was a school that did fake funerals.
Oh, right, yeah. So they do that. They should be doing the same thing at the zoos where they show you pictures or just have some maimed carcass outside. Be like, this person thought it'd be fun to take a picture with a gorilla. And then you get to see them.
Bones.
Yeah, just bones or whatever. You see pictures of them, and then you go, all right, well, I'm not gonna mess with that gorilla.
Right, or like a maimed child.
People, especially now, I mean, the whole I want to break into the zoo enclosure so I can get up close and personal with the animals. That's been going on forever, but now it's definitely on the uptick because everyone's trying to get the next viral video. So they want to.
Did you see the costume? It was funny.
Yeah, well, it was funny.
You know what they should put up is the viral videos.
That's right.
Or they go, worth it.
This unknown loser is now an internet superstar because they jumped in and took a picture in a monkey costume.
Are you backed up? Trader Joe's has a solution for you. There are some new sugar-free sweet and sour gummy worms.
I heard everyone's getting diarrhea.
Everyone is pooping all over the place after they eat these things because they contain 14 grams of fiber for 8 little pieces. And that's one single serving. Obviously, the bag's much bigger. So that amount is half of the recommended daily value of your fiber intake. So you can imagine the effect that this is having on people. And it's not even marketed as a fiber product. So it has twice the fiber of Metamucil.
Oh, man.
Yes, which is obviously marketed as a fiber product. So if you're backed up, you want to get some Metamucil, this is even stronger than that. So it's gotten to the point where the cashiers, the very nice cashiers, after they flirt with you, are warning shoppers at checkout, hey, are you sure you want to buy these? I'm just letting you know they could make you crap yourself.
Are they really? We got to go. Johnny, you may have to do another undercover investigation at Trader Joe's. You may have to load up on these gummy worms and
I'm very intrigued. I will actually go
see if
this.
they're really actually telling people, like if Johnny buys 7 bags of that, are they going to be like, you are going to be crapping for the next 4 days?
Just make sure that you have really loud packaging covering up any audio that you get, Johnny. Just like last time.
Do that.
All right, undercover investigation coming. We get into a brand new hour of the show right now.
It's Klein Alley Show.
106.7 KROQ-FM in HD Pasadena, Los Angeles, Orange County.
The Sonic Pulse of Los Angeles.
This is the world-famous K-Rock.
What an hour to be alive. Welcome to K-Rock, Klein Alley Show. Good morning. My name's Klein. There's Allie.
Morning.
That is DJ Omar Khan there.
Hey.
He is the audio sniper. And then Jake the Nerd.
What's that?
Postmaster Johnny and Vanessa taking the calls at 800-520-1067. You can interact with the show. Text, call, just sit back and listen or watch because we're streaming live on YouTube. What an hour. We got Billy Corgan joining us of Smashing Pumpkins fame, celebrating 30 years, 30th anniversary of Mellon Collie and Infinite Sadness. And they've got a tour that was just announced, the Rats in a Cage tour, which will be happening this fall. And we will get you in to the LA show at the Forum coming up in less than an hour. And Billy Corgan will be on to talk all about that and everything else a little bit later this hour. Plus, Allie's hot cousin and all of her pre-Vegas plans, which are totally different than Allie's pre-Vegas plans. If you want
to learn something about how to be hot in Vegas, you're going to want to hear this.
Yeah. Did you say she had multiple pool outfits? She was contemplating multiple pool outfits depending if she was going to...
She has different pool outfits depending on the pool we go to.
It's crazy.
She has casual pool outfit and pool party outfit. And then she has a post No Doubt outfit. So without thinking that after the concert we would go back to the hotel and change again.
It's wild.
And then go out.
God, being a woman is like...
exhausting.
Sounds exhausting.
Good thing I'm not one.
I know. That's the funniest part is when women explain to Allie how to be a woman, and Allie's like shocked about the whole thing. What, really? What?
Well, and I want to ask her plans for me, because I do have some basics put together, but I think she's planning on, like, carving this stone into a sculpture.
Is this the hot cousin that you went to Vegas for her bachelorette party?
Correct.
And she hid you under a tarp by the pool so you wouldn't ruin the vibe?
No, but there were 13 very hot girls all in Vegas. It was one of those situations where you walk out and there's a bus waiting for you and they're like, please get in this bus. It's free. We'll take you anywhere you want to go.
Right.
And I was the person who was always last in line because I walk the slowest. I've got thick ankles. And they were closing the ropes right after, like before I had got there.
They had to keep saying, please, she's with us.
Yes.
And they're like, are you sure?
It was like I was trying to hobble along and they were like, no, she's with us, she's with us.
Tell that bus to get on the bus.
I couldn't walk in heels. It's so hard.
It's just so funny. This idea that everywhere you go, they close that little velvet rope in front of you.
Right before me.
And then
I'm with them.
That's my party.
Red Rover, send Allie over. Just crunches through the gate. It's K-Rock, we're Klein Alley Show.
Klein Alley Show.
K-Rock, we are Klein Alley Show. A little bit later this hour, Billy Corgan joins us, and we get you into the just-announced tour, the Rats in a Cage tour, and that'll be happening coming up. When is that? When is that show in L.A.? I don't know. It's coming up, but not...
We should probably figure that out.
So I'm always so frustrated because I always get excited about stuff. It's not till November 12th at the Kia Forum. But we will get you tickets today. So you'll forget about it, and then you'll remember in November when you get an alert on your phone, oh, that's right, I have tickets to this show. It's amazing. I won them on K-Rock. Have that coming up later this hour. Allie, your hot cousin, Coco, of course it is on the phone right now. And just to confirm, because a lot of people are already asking on the text line, is this the hot cousin that Allie slept with?
No. That actually was not a hot cousin, and it was a second step cousin, and it was on the East Coast.
Let's say good morning to Allie's hot cousin to talk about exactly how hot women prepare to go to Vegas versus how Allie prepares for Vegas. Coco, good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Oh, my God. Jesus Christ. Omar, am I right? I mean, you could just hear it already.
I know. I know Coco.
Yeah,
I DJ'd her wedding.
Yeah,
you did?
That's right. Yeah, you did a great job, by the way.
Yeah, thank you.
DJOmarCon.com.
She's extremely attractive, and so is her husband, by the way. They're incredibly attractive couple.
They are, yeah.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much.
And they met in Vegas.
Oh, really? Where did you guys meet in Vegas?
We met on a 4th of July weekend at Club XS seeing DJ Kygo. And just, what happens in Vegas does not always stay in Vegas.
Yes.
So you're like one of these, I know your type, but you go to Vegas, you go to whatever the hottest DJ party is, you probably have some sort of a table, maybe you're even behind the DJ booth. I feel like you spend a lot of time there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
If you're going to go to Vegas, man, you got to live it up.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I don't think you've ever waited in line, Coco, for a club.
No, absolutely not. I don't wait in line.
Jesus Christ.
I don't pay for anything.
Right. That must be nice.
She goes, we don't wait in lines or pay.
Yeah,
and I was like, oh, I've done all of those things so many times
Yeah,
in
you know, you
Vegas.
see those crowds of people outside of clubs. That's usually where Allie is. I said,
I'm
Allie,
in the back.
Yeah, Allie's in the back of that line.
I went off the metal detector, and I don't even have metal on me.
Beep, beep. That's our Uggo detector. Beep, beep, beep.
So, Coco, why don't you walk them through your outfit plan? Because you kind of went through what you were packing, and it was a little overwhelming for me, but this is all fun for you. And I know you have outfits and backup outfits and just-in-case outfits.
Absolutely. And it is fun. I think that part of being a girl is being able to dress up and just, have fun with looking good and feeling good. I am the type that does bring a lot to Vegas because I want to have options. And I don't know if you remember this, Allison, but when you came to my bachelorette party, that was the one time I decided to actually pack a little lighter and just pack for like the exact outfits on the exact days. And the second night, my dress ripped putting it on, and I did not have a second dress. So,
So now you've learned your lesson.
But it suddenly made me hotter because it was ripped.
Yeah, the ripped dress. I waited in even shorter lines and paid for even less. But
They went hard, too. There was one girl at that bachelorette who rolled her ankle, twisted it, and it was swollen as hell, and she still went out with us and partied all night long.
But Coco, before we get into, because the whole reason that you're going to Vegas is for the No Doubt show at the Sphere. And when Allie first told you about this, when you guys first decided you were going to go together, is that when you start the planning of the outfits? Because this is one of those things where, once again, I don't think guys think this way, but I don't think Allie thinks this way. But you started planning this like months in advance.
I mean, sometimes you do. It depends on, like where you're going with your girls. But, we all usually in a group chat, like we'll plan months in advance for our outfits and like bump off ideas, with each other, get inspo, like have like a group chat going with pictures.
Is Allie on the group? Is Allie on the group chat by chance, or has she
There's
been?
only two of us going.
Yeah. Well, has Allie been removed?
Am I not inspo?
Well, I was trying to help you out, and then all of a sudden you responded with, I'm stressed. And I'm like, what? This is supposed to be the opposite. I'm like, supposed to help you.
That's just not how I think, I guess. Everything that you're saying about girls in Vegas is just not how I operate. But you're going to help me, because I do have a couple of ideas, and I sent you I sent you a picture of me in a bathing suit yesterday, and I'm doing okay with that.
Whoa.
Oh, my God, you look great. You look super hot. I loved it.
Plunging neckline, Klein.
But Allie, for a while, was wearing those stupid bathing suits with the big bottoms, like the diaper bottoms.
No, I wasn't.
Is she still wearing those or no?
Oh, yeah?
Well, I was going to ask her if she was going to go with cheeky or if she was going to go with a T-back, because depending on what pool we go to,
I don't know what any of that means.
Right, translate that to Allie. Translate that for her.
Uggo, please.
What are you saying? She's got to wear
full-butted or thong?
Is that what you're asking?
Well, there's like cheeky, right? So cheeky bottoms definitely means it's going to go in. It's going to dip in a little bit on the bum, and you're going to see a little bit more bum. But then there's a T-back that basically goes up your bum, and that's usually for a pool party.
Oh, those are your two options. I think Allie's going to go with none of the above. Is there a different option?
I was going to go with maternity.
Is that one of the options or no?
I mean, honestly, I want Allison to just do her because she's awesome.
Okay, thank you. Right. Well, why don't you explain? We got invited to something, and apparently it's a big deal.
Well, we got invited to go see John Summit, which is the number one DJ right now. And, that's going to be a full-blown pool party with a cabana. So I did tell Allison, hey, if you want to go, like, I'm totally down. Let's go. But I'm also want to keep this very like an Allison trip too. So if she doesn't want to go, totally fine. And I have a second option as far as an outfit goes for chill pool, not pool party, basically just chilling by the pool.
Can I ask you a question, Coco? Allie's hot cousin who's on with us right now, who seems to know how to do Vegas. Allie, when she planned Vegas recently, went to the Titanic Museum there. Is that, in all of your trips to Vegas, has that ever been on your list of things you've done?
No, I've never done that. How was it?
There was no line.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't have to wait in a line. I did send you an idea for something to do on Sunday other than the pool party.
You did. I was just going to mention that. You wanted to do an adult playground.
Yeah.
Which I said, are we going to be on shrooms when we do this? I don't understand.
What is an adult playground?
I don't know. It was this new thing that opened up, and you can basically put yourself in this outfit where you're all Velcro, and then you run and you jump onto a bullseye.
Oh, boy. This is why. It's so funny. Someone like Coco looks for reasons to wear so little, and Allie goes, where can I put on a giant Velcro suit and throw myself at a wall?
No, it just seemed like fun.
She wanted to do that instead of go to John Summit. So.
All right. Well, listen, you guys do, and you are bringing, according to Allie, you have 2 full-size suitcases ready to go, right, for 48 hours in Vegas.
I mean, don't judge. You know?
No, I'm just curious, because Allie was planning on wearing...
She's bringing stuff for me, too.
Allie was planning on just wearing layers. Allie was going to wear one outfit, her Vegas moo-moo. That was the plan.
You know what my outfits are? My outfits are Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
That's how Allie plans. and you have multiple options every day for every possible scenario.
Suitcase for Allison, and just remember, Allison, my dress ripped, so you might want to plan multiple outfits just in case you have a malfunction.
I'll bring an extra moo-moo.
All right, well, listen, it sounds like it's going to be fun for you, at least.
To see that John guy, which I thought was a restaurant at first when she invited me.
Allie goes, is that the place with the potato skins, John Summit? All right, well, I hope you have fun. I think you're going to enjoy the No Doubt show and everything else around it. I think Allie thought it was No Doubt and a trip to Planet Hollywood, but obviously there's much more to it than that, and it sounds like a very stressful thing. But
she's already planned us to go to a dinner and a speakeasy on Saturday night. I don't know about any of it, but she's going to get
we're going to document everything and have a blast.
Okay.
Don't worry.
Well, let's have Allie hold the camera and you can be on it. Okay? Let's figure that out. That's Allie's hot cousin, Coco, who will be in Vegas this week. A lot of people that are now going to say, I don't even care about No Doubt. I want to go to Vegas to see Coco. There's a lot of people that are...
sold out residency at the Sphere.
Coco's at the Sphere, just standing there and being hot. We got to take a break. We got more show and Billy Corgan next.
Hey, it's Billy Corgan from the Smashing Pumpkins.
Listen at 9, noon, 3, and 6 for your chance to win tickets to see the Smashing Pumpkins on the Rats in a Cage tour, November 12th, Kia Forum.
We now like to play a song for you that you might have heard on K-Rock.
Wanna go for a ride? 2 unique sets celebrating 30 years of Mellon Collie and the Infinite Sadness and nearly 4 decades of unruly hits and dark treasures. Courtesy of Live Nation.
All week on K-Rock, win tickets to see us.
Listen at 9, noon, 3, and 6 to win tickets to the Smashing Pumpkins at Kia Forum.
Only on the world-famous K-Rock.
K-Rock, your Klein Alley show. In moments, Billy Corgan will be on with us, Smashing Pumpkins. We'll talk all about the upcoming tour, just announced, then get you tickets to the shows, because we don't just talk about stuff here. We get you into the events. A lot of people demanding Allie's cousin on our Instagram, so we will be posting some photos of Coco, Allie's hot cousin, on the Klein Alley show Instagram.
Well, I did
Not
ask.
since Elena Bovian have we had such an uptick of followers, since just talking to Allie's hot cousin moments ago, her Vegas preparation.
Yeah, I texted her and I said, people want to see a picture of us.
No one said us.
Okay.
They said her.
You. And I said, can you send me one? And she said, well, it'll take me a while. I need to look through the pictures and then need to approve the pictures.
Oh, man.
Where should the picture, do you want me pictures of me in Vegas? Do you want just pictures of me natural? So this is a whole thing now, just getting the picture.
They'll be coming soon. I know people like the visual stimulation to go with the show, so we'll make that happen for you. Yesterday, we warned you that rattlesnakes are not the only thing you have to be on the lookout for. Apparently, we have now a tick problem that will be, and I always thought of ticks as an East Coast thing only, but I guess ticks are now going to be ruining all of our summers, and we do have some intel from a guy that I think that is probably our official tick expert on the show.
Good morning. Homeless Tim here from Van Nuys Sherman Oaks Park.
This is Homeless Tim calling from the park, a man that has to encounter, I would imagine, all sorts of different bugs on a regular basis.
Jake is absolutely correct. You people need to listen to his ultimate wisdom.
Oh, boy.
Okay.
So
Thank you.
Jake and Homeless Tim are on the same page. Jake, who claimed that if you want to kill a tick, you need to light a match and then burn the tick with the match.
It's not how to kill it, how to get it out. That's an old school way.
How to get it out of your body or something. So if you do encounter a tick, you don't want to just rip it out because apparently then the prongs get stuck in you or something and they keep sucking your blood. I'm not sure exactly how that works, but Homeless Tim is on Jake's page.
The match thing still works. What you have to do is apply heat to the tick. You can heat up a needle or some metal object or whatever, or a match and blow it out. You touch the tick, and the tick will get so angry and get too hot that it will try to run away, and it will pull its legs out and try to scurry away. That's the idea. You heat something up, you press it against the tick will try to run from the heat, and then you can kill it. It's that simple. You guys didn't give him any credit. What the hell, man? Love you guys. Homeless Tim here from Van Nuys, Sherman Oaks Park.
That's
Bye.
Homeless Tim, who's currently living in Van Nuys, Sherman Oaks Park, who, once again, hearing it from him, Allie, I kind of now believe it's true.
Well, because he has the confidence and the explanation behind it. It's not just like, that's just you.
Right.
Any questions about it? I'm right.
And
That's not what it sounds like.
Understand, Jake, the reason that we're calling into question your expertise is because you still have not backed down on your stupid theory about how you believe that Buc-ee's is not a gas station. And
it's much more than a gas station. Your question is misleading, and that's BS.
And here we are a week after, and we're still getting calls like this.
Hey, somewhat long-time listener, mostly radio, part-time podcast. I am calling in to say that, Jake, every single Buc-ee's is a gas station. They are literally built around the 100 pump gas stations that they build and own. Yeah, they own both.
Great.
And they build both every single time.
We're gonna take advice from guys saying like Silence of the Lambs.
Thanks, love y'all. Bye.
That guy took time away from his busy schedule of murdering innocent people.
I'm making a
lampshade out of skin
right
now. Yeah, whatever. That guy's...
He's a Buc-ee's regular.
Even
Sounds like
even
it.
he knows you're wrong.
Yeah.
So there you have it. The arguments continue here at K-Rock. In a moment, though, let's give you this to get you in the mood for Billy Corgan, who should be on with us. And I think he's going to zoom in so you can look at Billy if you want to up on our Instagram, we'll be YouTube Live. So go to K-Rock's YouTube right now, and let's give you this to get you ready for Mr. Billy Corgan on with us in 3 minutes.
The world is a vampire.
The world famous K-Rock.
Klein Alley Show.
Klein Alley Show.
K-Rock.
K-Rock, Klein Alley Show. What a fitting song, and I would have loved to have said from the Smashing Pumpkins to Billy Corgan, but we're attempting to connect right now. It's a live radio show, so things don't always go according to plan, but Billy should be on with us in moments as we are getting all connected now, and that tour that we were celebrating 30 years, that blows my mind. Sometimes you hear the dates of things, movies or whatever, songs, and you go, yeah, that makes sense. It feels like it's been that long.
Yeah.
And then there's stuff like this where you go, that can't be right. Someone definitely forgot to carry the one. That seems like that is a incorrect math problem. But 30 years celebrating with a giant new tour that was announced. And we will get you into that show in about 30 minutes, at least the L.A. leg of that show. But they're going to be traveling all over. And when Billy's on with us in moments, maybe he's concerned because if you remember, Allie, the last few times Billy Corgan's been on with us, I'm not going to say that the show has mushed him. But there was the time that he was on with us where his music then got hacked and he had to pay
a ransom. Yeah, his new album was leaked, and he was like, you can't even have album release dates anymore because the internet leaks it before you're ready.
Then there was the time he was on with us where we talked about the tea shop he was opening, and then I believe a few days later a car crashed into his tea shop in Chicago.
Twice that happened.
2 different times. So perhaps...
So maybe he's, second guessing this.
Perhaps his people are reminding him of all of his most recent visits on our show. And then I think he came out to talk about Ozzy Osbourne, and then Ozzy Osbourne died.
No, I think he had already died.
Oh, he already died?
Yeah, I think he had already died. But then you remember the first time we talked to him, and his son was on his lap and passed out.
Oh, man.
While we were talking to him. That's how thrilling the interview was.
Nothing's made me feel better about a chat than to watch someone fall asleep in the middle of our conversation. And there's a picture. I don't know if we found it. It's one of my
He was like limp. I thought he had passed out, like a medical issue.
Emergency. Yeah, I almost got the EpiPen out. It was maybe one of my favorite pictures ever taken. It was Allie and I chatting with Billy Corgan and his son.
And us looking happy and animated.
Yeah, and his son is completely asleep on Billy's lap. And he wasn't like a baby. He was
he was like 7
a boy
at that point.
Or something. So, but it made me reconsider just how thrilling the interview was.
Yes, I know. But I was hoping that this one would go a little better. Maybe it's going better already just because it hasn't happened.
Yeah, because he hasn't called yet. This is already our best chat with Billy Corgan yet because he is running behind. So anyway, Billy will be on with us. us, and then if you got questions, you can get them to us right now, or call 800-520-1067, or text them to us. I just wanted to update everyone. I know we talked about this earlier this morning, but Blind Charlie, we got a very alarming text message from Blind Charlie that said he was not going to be able to listen to the show today. He is perhaps the #1 fan of the show, so much so that he stands in the streets holding up signs. Perhaps you've seen the man dressed like Where's Waldo holding up a sign promoting our show for no reason other than the fact that he's a fan and wants us to succeed. And he said he had to go to the emergency room this morning because all of the cow parts, he had a surgery recently where they put a bunch of cow parts inside.
He got cow blood put in his body. Yes.
And
that's him.
That's him currently. But he said the cow parts were failing him, and so he had to go to the ER this morning, was not able to listen to the show because he needs to save his phone battery for possible important phone calls to make from the hospital. Someone did, off the air, figured out, I guess, where he's staying, and they're trying to bring him an old school radio so he can still listen to the show because it brings him happiness. But
can you bring him something more useful than a radio?
No,
he's transitioned.
Oh, Jesus. He's a they now. He's
it's
a
like
they.
Noah's Ark. It's going through all the...
Hey, listen, Blind Charlie, if you can hear us, and I don't know what animal shape you're currently taking.
Don't go to the light.
There are a lot of...
There's a wolf.
There's a lot of people...
Oh, no.
There's a lot of people that are sending their love your way, and a lot of animals as well that are saying they hope you get...
Oh,
Jesus Christ.
No.
Okay.
Jesus.
Well... Blind Charlie.
We missed you, Blind Charlie.
Yeah, we're sending you nothing but love, and I believe he's at a real human hospital. Vanessa found out he's at a human hospital. I'm not going to say exactly which one, but he's in Westwood.
Maybe he needs to be at a vet.
Well, that's why. We weren't sure where he was going earlier, but I think the human hospital is going to try to give him human parts now. But I think when you're a human and you need other
There's cow blood in this man.
Yeah, what is this man's...
Give me some human blood now.
This man's moo negative. This doesn't help us. We need something else.
Jesus.
So Blind Charlie, anyway, I don't know the update other than the fact that Vanessa's been behind the scenes.
Yeah, can we share what hospital he's at, Vanessa?
No, he doesn't want to give us the...
He doesn't want us to say, okay.
But you have touched base with him during the show?
I did,
and
he said he just wanted us to... Sorry, I'm focusing on another thing.
I know.
He wanted us to focus on the show, and then he did tell me where he was, but...
But Vanessa, is this potentially game over for Blind Charlie? Like, is this that serious of an emergency? People go to the emergency room sometimes because they have a splinter in their finger, and other times it's like, that's it. Is this how serious is it?
To be honest, I didn't want to bring that type of energy to him. I just said, feel better. We're here for you. Let us know if you need anything. I didn't ask, are you going to
This has been Vanessa's stock response to emergencies.
Yeah,
I'm on the side of the road. There's an emergency. Oh, my gosh. Good luck.
Well, you can't give more stress to people that are under stress. I know this.
Well,
as someone that's stressed right now.
But Vanessa, I just wanted to get a sense of... If Blind Charlie
is coming too.
If this is going to be like our last words with Blind Charlie, there's a lot we'd like to say to the guy.
I don't think so.
Because people say that he was supposed to come in here and give me a vasectomy, and it would be terrible. It's the only reason I'm kind of rooting he dies. So we don't have to do that bit.
No. We'll get someone else to do it if he can't do it.
Someone said here this was about the vasectomy.
Hey, hey, Klein. If you don't want to let Blind Charlie give you a vasectomy because you're afraid of people seeing your small pee-pee.
That's not, by the way, that has nothing to do... That's so low on my list of things I'm afraid of. It's not about...
I will not be looking at any of that.
Yeah,
there will be a very thick sheet.
There's not a guy listening to this right now that would be okay with a blind man, potentially touch... Oh, hold on one second. We interrupt this Blind Charlie conversation because on our phone right now, fine, better late than never. Here he is, the great Billy Corgan. Hey, Billy.
That's a plus.
Good day. Now you have to blame the other DJs for making me late. I'm always on time. It's the DJs that make me late.
It's the DJs that are the ones that are messing you up?
Yes, because they put a schedule where it's like I have a different call every 15 minutes, and of course the DJs go over
ramble.
their time. Yeah. Those crazy coke snorting DJs.
Ain't that the way? Well, in that case, we will ramble less to get you back on your schedule. But congratulations on an announcement that we were pretty excited to hear at K-Rock. And usually a funeral is not something we celebrate, but that was some event you put on Sunday.
And, of course, our spiritual home out there in Los Angeles. We've had so many great experiences in Los Angeles, and so it always feels like a second home to us. So, of course, it was great to announce the tour there.
And how did it come about to start it with a funeral for zero?
Well, there was this thing that we should think of something because of social media, something that would get people's attention. So we thought, what better than a funeral what band could do a funeral to announce a tour? I think we're the only band that could pull that off. And my wife did put all the funeral part together and did a great job. And when Howie Mandel was up there with my wife giving a eulogy, I just thought, okay, this is peak absurdity. And then we played an hour show at the Hollywood Legion Hall.
And that I think is like a preview of what people can expect with the tour that was just announced. Of course, you'll be back in L.A. at the Forum, where we got a chance to see you a few years ago. K-Rock's Almost Acoustic Christmas, a venue you've played many times previously. But this tour is interesting because it's like almost like they're getting two shows for one, in the sense that it's not a standard you do two different acts. They're totally almost different shows you're putting on, right?
Yeah, first set is all Mellon Collie stuff, so about an hour 15 of Mellon Collie, and then we'll take a short break and we'll come out and do a kind of a deep cuts and hits type set. So it's going to be a big challenge, but I really want to force myself and the band to take it up another level. We've had so much energy around us for the last few years, a lot of great young fans coming on board that really want to see the band play at a super high level. And they really deserve the band's best. So we're going to try to bring the best that we can possibly bring to the table.
I think you mentioned before that you've been wanting to do something around Mellon Collie for a long time, and it didn't work out. Why now? I mean, of course, the anniversary, but why didn't you do this sooner? Why weren't the stars aligned then?
That's a great question. A lot of times when it would come up, people would want us to play the whole album, and I would say, I don't know, that seems like a bit much, And it was this thing of like, well, that's what would sell. You're playing the whole album. And I was like, no, we really should just do something that's more akin to what we would do with it and what our fans would respond to. So I think it took a while to get everybody on the same page on that.
Billy Corgan is on with us right now. Just announced the Rats in a Cage tour. It's going to be heading all over the place. And if you're lucky enough to see them in their hometown of Chicago, they're back to headline Lollapalooza, which I couldn't possibly fathom this, but it's been 30 years since you played Lollapalooza or headlined that show.
32, but who's counting?
That's insane.
Billy.
Were there no invitations over the last 3 decades of you to go back and do that? It seems crazy, or were you just busy and couldn't?
I don't want to talk too much out of school, but basically speaking, the offers would occasionally be there, but it was never to headline.
Got it.
And I was like, how do we come back and play Lollapalooza in Chicago and not be a headliner? So the argument would be over whether or not we were strong enough to be a headliner. And I was like, that's crazy. It's Chicago. I mean, that's a no-brainer. So the stars are finally aligned in that. We're very grateful. We have a great relationship with everybody. So, the business is hard behind the scenes. It hasn't always been easy for us to rebuild what we thought we had or what we felt we were due. But it's made us tougher, and I think it's made us a better band. So I don't have any regrets on that.
Mellon Collie was such a smash hit when it came out, and, I would say it's by far the most listened to Smashing Pumpkin album of all time. Do you think if that album were to come out now versus 30 years ago, it would have been received in the same way, just with how differently people absorb music these days?
That's a fantastic question. I really can't say, because your modern alternative / rock listener really listens for a lot of different things. And it's such a wide-ranging album. Whether it be a Somber or a Youngblood or, there's a lot of great young alternative artists. I think that audience kind of listens to music differently and maybe has a different tolerance for time. So it's hard to imagine that they would want to absorb that much music at one go. But then again, didn't Morgan Wallen, I think, just put out like a 38-song country album?
Right.
So, I don't know. Maybe we're underestimating the audience. Maybe part of the problem is the last 10, 15 years is everybody's been underestimating the audience. People want great music. So maybe the answer is if it's great, it should work no matter when it comes.
It's also interesting because, like, 1979, for instance, has become this weird almost anthem for Gen Z. And that's, talk about songs that were written a long time ago that are being embraced by a totally new crowd now. And it's got to be weird to, I don't know how you look at it now, looking back on 30 years, but were there ever moments during the rise of Smashing Pumpkins where you were like, we got to call it quits? Did you go through periods of, I'm calling it quits right now? Like, we've done what we could do? Because now I feel like you're getting a whole new life for the band.
Yeah, I think there's times where you just feel like the whole thing kind of runs out of gas. When you've had success, there's always going to be a gig at a county fair or something. But like to the level of your experience and to the level of your enthusiasm, no, it starts to get weird at certain times. And that's when you really have to double down on what you believe in, music, and I guess trusting the fans that you do have to carry you through the hard times. I don't know how we've landed where we've landed. We're in the best position we've been in probably since maybe Mellon Collie. You know, with the momentum that's going on with the band right now, I mean, that's a long time. That's 30 years plus. And somehow we've stumbled back into a really sweet spot with the audience, with the world. We've had to learn a lot of lessons along the way. But we've also been punished for things that maybe we weren't responsible for. So it's hard to say. Maybe that's all for a book someday. But all I can tell you is we're very grateful that there's a young audience that still cares about what we do. And the fans that have stuck with us, I mean, we couldn't be more grateful. It's been amazing. And of course, even K-Rock, we've had this long, great relationship with K-Rock. No station has been more supportive of the band through the decades than K-Rock. So we're very grateful to K-Rock as well.
But you've also said before that we hold it over your head every day and we make you do things for us because of favors that we gave you 30 years ago, right? True?
Well, I think I once joked on the air that Kevin Weatherly makes me wash his car.
Yeah.
Still.
That's true. And by the way, his car's a little dirty. Saw some bird crap on it this morning.
Get over here,
That's
Billy.
all I'm saying.
Go ahead.
Sorry. No, one thing I just want to add, and I'll be brief about it. It's, you know, when you're young, you know, you think the world owes you everything. And maybe there's something that works about that when you're young. But as you get older, you start to realize there's a lot of moving pieces in the world. Radio stations need ratings. Bands need to sell records. It's not so simple as maybe you want to make it out to be. So I think that's where the appreciation comes in now is the fact that these relationships have sustained through the ups and the downs is really what matters.
Well, we're excited that there's a new Smashing Pumpkins tour to announce and to attend. We've also talked about a couple of K-Rock bands announcing, you know, and performing at the Sphere, doing residencies in Vegas. And would Smashing Pumpkins ever be interested in doing something at the Sphere? Because I feel like that would be incredible.
Absolutely. It's a no-doubter for us. We just haven't been asked yet.
Yeah, don't wait 30 years like Lollapalooza. You know what I'm saying? Sphere, step it up. Billy's ready. And the guy's shaped like the Sphere. He should get a spot.
See, if the Sphere came to us and said, we'd love you to do all of Mellon Collie with that production, now that makes sense to me. That makes sense to me to do something like that, to build a show around the album, much like we've done the opera with the Lyric in Chicago. Now it's going to Europe. You know, that makes sense to me because then you have a chance to recast the songs and the music in a different dynamic. But playing a 30-year-old album with that pacing and that song order and expect everyone to sit there and be happy, I think that's asking a lot of the audience. That's why we fought against just going out and playing the record.
The Rats in a Cage tour, tickets officially go on sale. General ticket goes on sale a week from Thursday, May 21st, 10 a.m. We have tickets to give you coming up in about 10 minutes on K-Rock. We'll be doing that at 9, noon, 3, and 6 for the long relationship that K-Rock's had with Billy and, of course, the Smashing Pumpkins. And as always, we have to wrap up every conversation with not one but two epic questions for the great Billy Corgan. Here we go.
Two epic questions.
All right, question number one, Billy. If there were a wrestling match between Smashing Pumpkins and the Red Hot Chili Peppers, who would win in that wrestling match?
Oh, the Peppers.
Why?
Yeah, no doubt. They're all in good shape. They all dance around naked. There's no. I mean, you know, no. It's the Peppers all day. We're going down.
You know, you talk a lot about big issues. You always get our minds racing in directions that maybe we necessarily don't want them to go, but then we think about things. At least your music does that for me, and I think other people as well. Are you more concerned for our future because of aliens or robots?
I'm not worried about aliens because I'll start here. If the supposition is there are aliens, okay, and there have been aliens, well, if they wanted to take us over, they would have done it a long time ago. Or they could take us over at any time. So I don't really worry about that. That's like worrying about the elephant stomping on a bug, you know?
Right.
As far as the robot thing, I think the havoc that it's going to wreak is on the working class. And I think you already see it. it won't be long where just those jobs that used to support the middle class, like people in my family, the people I grew up with, and those jobs are just not going to be there. And I think the government has known for a while that robotics is going to take over a lot of the workforce, which is why they started floating out universal basic income, and which is also why they passed pot legalization, because they just want people to stay home and play video games.
Yeah.
They want us to be checked out, right?
You can check that quote in about 30 years, because why would you start floating out paying people to stay home and not work? The only reason you would float that out is because you know they're going to need something to do and not be out in the street rioting, asking for jobs.
Till the robots start staying home and playing video games, and then we don't know what we're going to do anymore.
Well, and we're using robots to deliver us food so we can get more high and eat
right.
more.
Well, Billy's onto something, man.
But honestly, the question you should ask, not to do your job, but the question you should ask is, should we be more scared of AI or robotics?
Mm-hmm.
Because really, AI is going to be the real havoc wreaker here.
Well, listen, Billy, when you're back in L.A., not doing funerals, or maybe when you come back in November for the show at the Forum, please stop into the K-Rock studios so that you can wash Kevin's car and we can continue the chat. And always good to talk to you. Congratulations on a new tour for the Smashing Pumpkins, and thanks for spending some time with us this morning on K-Rock.
Always great to talk to you.
The great Billy Corgan.
106.7 FM. Klein Alley Show. Mornings. KROQ. World famous K-Rock. Klein Alley Show.
106.7 KROQ FM in HD Pasadena, Los Angeles, Orange County.
The Sonic Pulse of Los Angeles.
This is the world famous K-Rock.
Let's go caller 20. Where are you? 800-520-1067. Let's get you into the Smashing Pumpkins show. Part of their new tour just announced. Get you those tickets a week before you can even buy them. And thank you again, Billy Corgan, for joining us on K-Rock. What did we learn from that chat, Allie? We learned that robots will probably be our downfall.
Yeah, but AI will get us first.
AI will get us, so we won't even care when the robots get us, and that's why we've been smoking weed and playing video games.
Yeah, and that's what they want us to do, smoke weed and play video games, which is great because we want that too. Yeah. But it'll kill us all.
That's fine.
Worth it.
Worth it, right. Well said. We'll go ahead and give these
GTA 6
tickets
is
away.
coming out.
Later this hour, Ben Gleeb will be joining us in the studios of K-Rock. You know Ben Gleeb from lots of things. He was your host on Idiot Test for many, many seasons. And he will be now kicking off a new evolution of late night, a live late night show happening on YouTube. And the audience is part, I believe, in person and then part a virtual audience, so that, like, unlike any other late night show.
Like CGI or like from home?
I think everyone's just watching on their computers, but you see them there as well. I think you get to see everyone. It's pretty fascinating, and we'll get into that coming up later this hour. Right now, though, let's say good morning to our 20th caller, which puts us on Antonia. Good morning, Antonia.
Hi, sweet dibbits.
Sweet dibbits.
Dibbits. We have some great news for you. Make your dibbits a little sweeter this morning. You will be going to see the Smashing Pumpkins.
Yes, thank you so much. I'm so excited.
You are very, very welcome. Hold on one second so we get you into that show. That one is happening at the Forum. And all those dates and all of the ticket information will be posted up on our socials and at K-Rock. But don't worry about any of that, Antonia, because you're as good as in. So hold on one second.
Woo!
Thanks for starting your day with us on K-Rock. In a moment, Allie, we solve the Internet's biggest riddles with some clickbait, including what age you are most likely to get divorced. That and more after this on KROQ.
World famous K-Rock.
Klein Alley Show.
Klein Alley Show.
K-Rock.
The internet designed for two reasons only: clickbait and masturbate. We can only do one of them on the radio. So here we go. Hit it. Start with this one. According to an etiquette expert, everyone's an expert. I don't even know what you do to become an etiquette expert. This seemingly polite behavior is actually super rude. No one really wants to come across as rude, so we do things to at least appear to not be rude, and we are doing something that we think is polite, but apparently it's one of the rudest things that you can actually do. Very inconsiderate, even though the goal you think is that you are being considerate. What is it?
It's when you stack the plates at a restaurant.
Okay. You think you're going to save the waiter a little time? You're going to go ahead and Jenga the plates?
Yeah, I'm going to put all these sauces together. I'm going to dip them all over each other, stack them. Makes it really hard in the kitchen. Actually, they hate it.
All right, Allie claims that stacking plates. You think you're helping out, but really you're just making things way worse. Jake the Nerd, this seemingly polite behavior is actually considered super rude according to an etiquette expert?
I'm going to go with holding a door open from like 20 yards away. And then, like, making a person, like, try to run and catch up to you. So
funny when I hate it when people hold the door. I know it's supposed to be considered polite, but it does feel like you have to do some sort of a weird fake jog. I hate that.
You just move your arms like this.
You can't even do a real jog.
That seems like a you move, though, by the way.
I am the person that would hold the door because, I don't want to come across like I'm being a dick.
But that's how you fell.
Yes, you were trying to hold the door open for Jake, and then you fell down.
When I fell in the hall, the big fall in the hall, and I made that noise, that was me attempting to not be rude and hold the door for Jake. And look what happened now. Totally
you're a
backfired.
laughing stock of the building.
Yeah. Years later, we're still talking about the fall in the hall. If you're new to the show, I'm sure there's surveillance footage that will be reposted.
It's still in our Instagram story highlights.
Great.
If you ever want to see it.
Want to watch Klein fall down wearing a mask and a backpack?
He was wearing a mask and a yellow hat.
Saddest thing that happened during COVID days. Omar, what is the thing that people are trying to do to be polite, which apparently is actually quite rude?
I'm going to say that when people automatically go in for the hug when they're greeting people, I think that most people don't want your stinky ass all up in their grill. That, a handshake will suffice, but most people think that you have to go above and beyond and go in for a hug.
All right, well, it shows you that we don't know anything about being polite on this show because we're all wrong, but according to this etiquette expert, one of the rudest things you can do when you think you're being polite is showing up early.
Oh, God, I hate
to a party
people.
Or social function.
No,
who thinks that's polite? That's not polite. That's rude.
One of the most inconsiderate things you can do to the host is showing up early, according to the etiquette experts. It's impolite
15 minutes late
to arrive early to a party because the host is taking care of last-minute details, and now you've shown up, and they have to give you some. Now, sometimes people show up early, and they go, "Oh, am I early, or can I help out in any way?"
I don't like the "can I help" because you haven't gotten. If somebody wants to help, your brain is not in that space to suddenly give them tasks to do. You are in your own zone. You're trying to figure, like Omar said, you're doing finishing touches and all that stuff, and you don't need somebody else to enter your space and throw everything off.
Usually, if you're one of these early arrivers, the first thing that someone says when they see you pull up is, "Oh, crap."
Yes, they're here already.
It's never a, "Oh boy, the fun's." It's always, "Oh crap, they're here." Why are they here? It doesn't start for another 15 minutes.
I leave at the time the party's supposed to start.
Right.
I will leave my house at the time it's supposed to start, and then I'll.
So you leave the party.
That's
the most polite thing I can do.
That's the best thing Ali can do is show up, wave, and leave. All right, here we go. Moving on. We've always heard that half of all marriages end in divorce, although I think that number is north of half, right? Isn't it 55% now end in divorce? Because some people get divorced multiple times. So
I thought divorce was starting to go down, though, because less people were even getting married.
Well, that's the only way to drop the divorce numbers, I guess, is that less
Never
people
get married in the first place.
But apparently, if you are married, this is the age you are most likely to get divorced. So if you are this age or will be this age, may want to hunker down. It's going to be a year for you.
I don't know why 43 just sounds like the right number.
43?
Yeah, a lot of people now get married later in their 30s. So you have 7-8 years, of marriage before you start.
Is it the 10-year itch?
It's the 7-year itch. Yeah, but I don't even know how true that is. I do think that between 7 and 10 years, though, is when you start going, I now hate this person.
Oh,
can I change my mentality and fall in love with you again? Or are all these things just eating at me to the point where I can't tolerate your presence anymore?
It's an interesting concept to think about. This is a person that you at some point probably liked because you did choose to get married to them, unless one of you got pregnant and you just had to do it. But,
now everything they do annoys
is annoying.
you.
And I wonder if you go,
did I ever like that thing that they did before?
Or where were the things I ever liked? Because sometimes I think you get so jaded, you go, all I see is the stuff I hate about the person.
Right, exactly. And I wonder if someone new would appreciate all the things that you hate.
All right, so Ali says 43 is the number that most people get divorced. That's the age. Omar?
Yeah. I'm going to go younger. I'm going to say people are getting divorced around 37 because I think once you reach 40, you start to look at your relationships a little differently and you start to thinking, okay, we need to work on this, therapy or whatever. But I think in your mid-30s, you're still kind of hot-headed.
You're ready to run away.
Yeah. You're just, and also you probably think, I'm still in my 30s. I'm, young enough to start another relationship and another life.
Right.
I think people think, and maybe it's different with guys and girls, but they go, if I'm 30-something, I can still date in my 20s, or I could date up into the 40s, right? They have that but once I hit the 40, right, then I think people go so now would be the time to start something new.
And guys go, I'm in my 30s. I want to date someone in their 20s. Now I'm in my 40s. I want to date someone in their 20s.
Right.
Now I'm in my 50s. I want to date someone in their 20s.
That's right. That's exactly right. How did you know the mathematical formula that we all think? Jake, you are not married. Don't plan on being, I don't think. You don't want to get married ever, do you, Jake?
Nah.
Not for you.
Well, there was at one point I heard some talk.
Of me getting married?
Yeah.
No, man, I don't want to lose half my beans.
No. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. Weren't you guys in the room where Jake announced to the room that that girl that kicked him out, there was a potential that she might be the one?
That's so true.
I don't remember.
I remember.
I don't know. Klein and I don't really listen.
Jake?
That was forever ago.
I know, but at one point,
that if I ever got to a point where I'm moving in with a girl to her house, I'm not moving into her house unless we're getting married. That way she can't kick me out.
But you did move into her house.
And she did kick you out.
Time.
And she kicked you out.
Because you thought you were going to marry her. I remember this.
Yeah, Vanessa's loves love. So
Are you sure you weren't thinking about his dog?
I deleted all that from my memory.
Yeah, Jake, I think you said, quote, I'm going to marry this one. You can mark my words.
Well, look what happened.
All right, so what is the answer? What age?
I don't want to talk anymore.
Okay.
What are the age that you're going to probably get divorced?
I'm going to say I think it's the older people that are getting divorced more than ever because they see that their life is waning and they want to have some fun and don't want to waste the rest of their lives. So I'm going to say 54.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I do know a few people whose parents,
silver divorce.
Yes,
that's all the rage
now
these
they're getting
days.
divorced, and their kids are in their 30s.
I blame that old Cougar Bachelor show they were doing because now all these old people think they have hope.
What?
Yeah, they did that spin-off of The Bachelor with old people.
Called Cougar Bachelor?
Golden Bachelor.
Oh, yeah, the Golden Bachelor.
And I think everyone was like, hey, look at this, all these single people out here. Huh?
I can have my own show.
So one of you is kind of right, actually. Allie is the closest, but early 40s is the sweet spot for divorce, and 41, actually that window between 40 and 42 is actually the sweetest of the sweet spots. So they say 41 is the age that you are most likely to get divorced.
And I think, as Omar said, you have plenty of time to reset and just rejoin the dating pool without being, an undesirable.
An undesirable.
In the eyes of the dating world.
Listening to a show of undesirables. Quick break, back in a moment. Ben Gleeb in the studio, and we have tickets to give you to go to Wild River's private cabana, $100 food and beverage credit. And we're looking for you. We'll get into a round of Am I an Idiot, where you get to tell us something you did, where you were accused of being an idiot in the moment. And Ben will help us determine who is the biggest idiot currently listening to the show. We will reward you for being an idiot, and that'll be coming up on K-Rock.
Hey, it's Billy Corgan from the Smashing Pumpkins.
Listen at 9, noon, 3, and 6 for your chance to win tickets to see the Smashing Pumpkins on the Rats in a Cage tour, November 12th, Kia Forum.
We now like to play a song for you that you might have heard on K-Rock.
Wanna go for a ride? 2 unique sets celebrating 30 years of Mellon Collie and the Infinite Sadness and nearly 4 decades of unruly hits and dark treasures. Courtesy of Live Nation.
All week on K-Rock. Win tickets to see us.
At 9, noon, 3, and 6 to win tickets to the Smashing Pumpkins at Kia Forum.
Only on the world-famous K-Rock.
Fighters, K-Rock, we are Klein Alley Show, just radio, being radio. Of course, you can watch us on YouTube, and while you're on YouTube, you can check out the evolution of late night, because Ben Gleeb, who's now in our studio right now, longtime friend Ben Gleeb, been on with us before, and we talked to you over the years when you decided you were going to run for president, Ben. We had you on. You didn't win president of the United States.
What?
But I know, I hate to break it to you. You did not win.
Nuts.
But,
election fraud.
That's
what it is.
Right.
It was stolen. They stole it.
They stole it from you. But now you will be hosting Good Night with Ben Gleeb. It's YouTube's first ever late night talk show. And on a week that Stephen Colbert's show is going away forever, The Late Show, which has been on CBS forever, with, obviously Letterman and then Stephen Colbert, that goes away. You lose one, you win one. Ben Gleeb, win one for the good guys, coming to YouTube. Congratulations.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate that.
So how did this come about? How did you decide I'm going to do late night and I'm going to do it on YouTube?
I've had this idea for a very long time. I've been wanting to do it for years, and I just kept being stunned that nobody else had done it. I'd done a proper, full-scale late-night show on YouTube, and as Kevin knows, I wanted to host a late-night show my entire life, since I was 6 years old.
It was almost pathetic how often he mentioned it.
It was really sad.
And I would say, Ben, you're now 25. It's not going to happen. You're now 35. It's not going to happen. And here we are. And I just said,
you just made it happen. You invented the opportunity.
Yeah, he made it happen. But you kind of started doing it during COVID because what Gleib did, which I found fascinating, when every comedy club was shutting down at the beginning of COVID, he launched a comedy club out of his living room, but it was in such a way where everyone could watch on their computers, and then you got to see the people that were in. You got to see them. You got to see and hear them. They could heckle you from their own house.
It wasn't my living room; it was the studio in the back of the house. But that's fine.
Oh, I thought it was your living room.
It was maybe initially until we upgraded. But yeah, and then all of a sudden, I've got Bill Burr and Sarah Silverman performing in the studio in my house, and full-page New York Times stories. And I'm doing a show with John Cleese called "Please Leave Me Alone," and he's my comedy partner somehow now. The Godfather of Monty Python, and I knew that I was able to create these things at a really high scale, that somehow these visions were able to come true into reality. And so I figured, I'm not being offered a late night show by the networks. No one is. They're being canceled. It's it's dying on network TV. It's unsustainably expensive. It's being censored by government forces. And I'm like, what if I can just go and create my own? It's the first time in history you can do that. And I've got, like you said, amazing relationships with talent and with people that I've, gotten to know over the years. And with this technology I created and the way that I can kind of create this really innovative show, I think I can make something very special. And so I decided to do it.
Well, and a lot of comedians, it seems, are releasing their specials on YouTube now.
Yeah.
More than ever, just because you don't want to, you get more of the profit and you control more of the content. You're not being censored like you would be on a network.
Yeah,
if they had asked you.
You own the whole thing. Yeah, and it's got nothing to do with the fact they're not asking. I mean, it's not. If they said to me, "We're going to give you $1 million to make your special," I'd say yes. I mean, I'd say no to them. I misspoke. I'd say no to them, and I'd say I'm going to keep doing it on YouTube.
YouTube is where it's at.
That's right.
Let the people find it. And this debut episode, what is the information people need so they can subscribe, be ready to be there at the very beginning of the next chapter of Late Night?
Yeah, May 28th at 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific. We are debuting Good Night, and you can subscribe on YouTube. You just search @goodnight. Our channel is youtube.com/@goodnight, and you can follow us on all socials @makeitagoodnight, or go to makeitagoodnight.com, and you won't miss any episodes every single week, released every Thursday.
100% live.
Well, no, it's live. We tape the day before on Wednesday nights.
Oh, got it. So it's most late night shows.
And you can buy a ticket to be, like Kevin was saying, on the video walls in the studio with us, interacting, providing our laughter and applause, asking a question of our guests, interacting with me in crowdwork segments at makeitagoodnight.com. You literally get a ticket. You can buy it right now. It's early bird up until 1 week before, so you have just until the end of today to buy it. And you can be part of the show. It's the first time ever in late night that you can actually be in a worldwide studio audience. You don't have to fly out to New York to be in Fallon's audience once and be seen from a super wide shot for a quarter second.
Right.
You're part of the show in this intimate studio with us.
You have A-list guests, surprise guests. You won't tell you who it is.
Yep.
A-list guests, and obviously you have a lot of friends. Ben is one of these weird adults that still likes to have a birthday party for himself every year, even though he's an adult, and at some point you say, I don't need to have a bowling party for myself.
That criticism would hurt if you didn't come every year. Okay?
But Ben has these birthday parties, and then sometimes I will show up and he'll have, Nikki Glazer's hanging out at his. He's got all these people that he's good friends with.
He has the ability to throw a good birthday party.
Right.
Maybe you don't, so that's why you never had one.
Well,
also, not just Nikki Glazer comes, Nikki Glazer pays for the parties, how much she enjoys it. And she helped financially back this late night show.
Oh, cool. So she really believes in you.
She believes in me quite a bit.
Oh, man, it's the first stumble in her career, huh?
I know. It's the first. I know. I know. That's why she didn't do this last Kevin Hart roast. She was just putting all of her eggs in the basket of my late night show. It's incredible of her to do that.
So if you ever run out of guests, can we go on your show?
I'm sorry, you're breaking up. What's that?
I just wanted to see if we
can't hear what you're saying even.
Guests on your show.
It's so weird. I'm here in person, and I don't hear what you're saying.
Am I speaking? Hello?
I hear you fine. What? Ben is making up fake. Ben, we are
weird.
Well, Allie, look at this list of people he's got scheduled to join. Bob Odenkirk, Tiffany Hatt. These are early backers. I don't know if they're going to be on the show, but they probably Craig Robinson, Sophia. But he's got Jeff Ross.
No, they're all on.
He's got bigger names than us there. But eventually, if this thing continues on to a season 2 or 3, you're going to,
and you've run you've gotten to the Z's on your contacts.
Well, no, but here actually the answer to that too is it's actually you guys are totally going to be on the show and welcome, because what I'm also especially doing, it's a very intimate studio, right? It's in my home, and so we built this very intimate studio where there's only 19 seats in the studio, but there's an overflow in the living room. And every week we're having a very curated just group of 40 people that come to the house.
Your house.
It's only invite only. It's why it's obviously not, that part's not for the public other than the video walls. And the post show, the moment the show ends, one of the ways I'm trying to evolve late night, make it really authentic. People don't want these like big corporate and personal studios. So it's from my home. It's not just to save money, although that's part of it. The second the show ends, I say, please join us for our post show. And if you get a VIP ticket to our virtual audience, you get to see it live. The camera follows me into the rest of the house, and now it's a full flow through my house, which you've been to, like you said, Kevin. And it's like where I'm at the fire pit and the ashram behind the pool. We get on a boat floating in the pool.
Oh my God! What kind of house do you have?
It's a pretty nice house.
Wow!
Thank
you have
you
a
so
boat?
much. I have a boat.
It's inflatable.
It's inflatable.
It's a raft. It's a raft. He's trying to say
and then we'll go on the boat.
He has a pool raft.
I have an Intex pool raft.
Yeah, it's one of those.
I call it a boat.
It's a fancy pool raft.
It's a floaty.
That's
you have a floaty in a pool?
It's a floaty, but it holds like 4 people, but it's a floaty. Okay. That's true. Much like I had a hot tub until it broke, and that also was inflatable, but it looked wood paneled.
Yeah.
And so literally like one time Nikki Glacier came over to hang out one night, and we were going to hot tub. She likes a hot tub, so do I. So we approach my hot tub, and she's standing right in front of it, and she goes, "What'd you pay for this thing? Like $13,000?" And I'm like, "Touch it, Nikki," and it's just plastic. And we sat in a plastic hot tub together for 2 hours and just bonded.
I owned that hot tub at one point. I bought it on Sky Mall, and it was. He's right.
It's the same one.
It looks like it's wood, but it's actually styrofoam, spray painted styrofoam. I believe.
I would never stoop so low.
Well, that's what I
plastic. I was getting BPAs in my skin.
Ben, as you know, and a lot of people are a big fan of yours from Idiot Test. By the way, that show just won't die. It was on for Game Show Network, then it became Netflix for a while. Now it's on Pluto TV. But it's a good opportunity for us to get into a round of Am I an Idiot, where people get to talk about things they've done that maybe in the moment make them an idiot, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they're a full-time idiot. There's a difference between a one-off idiot and a full-time idiot, right?
Yep.
Allie drove off the other day with a pizza on the hood of her car. Not the roof, the hood of her car.
Right in front of you. You're seeing the pizza.
It was right in front of me, and
You're
then
seeing the pizza.
Started picking up speed and going,
Was it too
God.
hot and you were trying to cool it down, or what was the thought behind that?
Well, I was setting it down so that I could get my kid in the car, and then once I finished that process, it was like Goldfish. Everything reset, and I just got in my car and started driving away. And once I backed up and then started, going onto the road, I realized it was there, and I had to stop so that I could get the pizza, and the pizza flew off, fell upside
you stopped
down.
Too quick. Oh, no.
Yeah. And then
How was it, though? Tasty?
Oh, delicious.
Streetza. We call it Streetza.
I like that.
If you'd like to join us, phone's open 800-520-1067. Ben will help us determine, are you an idiot? That is the question. Anything you've done recently where someone's accused you or you felt like an idiot yourself, you tell us your story. We will pick ourselves a winner and give you something here at K-Rock and take your calls next at 800-520-1067. Ben Gleeb on Instagram at Ben Gleeb, the future star of Good Night with Ben Gleeb, YouTube's first ever late night talk show premiering May 28th. And Am I an Idiot on K-Rock is next.
Klein Alley Show.
Mornings on K-Rock.
Yeah!
K-Rock.
If you'd like to join us for a round of Am I an Idiot with Ben Gleeb, host of Idiot Test, but new host of Good Night with Ben Gleeb, YouTube's first ever late night talk show, you can call us now, 800-520-1067. Got a lot of people on the phone, although I forgot, Allie. Remember this call? The person doesn't like it when we use the word idiot?
So I noticed you guys are still using the S word, S-T-U-P-I-D, and the I word, I-D-I-O-T, on your show, like, every day in 2026. And I was calling to just, ask you to please stop. So it's very insensitive for the intellectually declined community.
Which is most of society these days.
Also, I don't know if this is, maybe not so PC to say, but that guy sounds like a stupid idiot.
He is.
Well, and he's spelling it because he knows that idiots won't be able to figure it out.
Right. Yeah, that's also true. It's let's just say it in a way that the real dum-dums don't follow. And why is it better to spell a thing? That's less offensive. You're dragging it out. You're S-T-U-P-I-D, bro.
Yeah.
That hurts more.
It does. You have to wait till they get to the end of the spelling.
Yeah, are you going to say stupendous? Oh, man, you're saying stupid.
You ended it stupid.
Yeah, but we did learn through that process that in being an idiot, it used to be a classification.
Right.
When you were IQ tested, if you were 25 or below on the IQ test, you were considered an idiot.
It's just so low.
And 25,
Just the
I don't even think
lowest.
you can put on shoes. Like 25
It's
is
really low.
It's lower than
Maybe
that.
you could put on Crocs still.
Crocs, definitely.
You could just slide into Crocs.
I think we know
You
idiots
definitely
can
have
put on
like
Crocs.
teeth in it and all those like dumb buttons you put in them.
You can't put the giblets in. No
Can you
way.
imagine the place in life where you put in giblets in your shoes and you think you're some kind of a human?
Yeah, I know. I've had
Unbelievable.
Once you start, you can't stop.
The guys at the mall kiosk will actually stop me and say, like, "Hey, you look like you could use some giblets."
You're
Like, what does that say-
giblet-less
What does that
at 26.
say about me?
You look like a gibbet guy.
Yeah, it's terrible. Maria,
look a little bit that way.
welcome to. Thank you, Ben. Welcome to Am I an Idiot? Ben Gleeb is here. Why do you believe you are an idiot? We'll help determine if it's true.
Hey, good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
So, last year we went to Sequoia National Park. Over 3-hour drive. My job was to make sure I packed the tent. When we got to Sequoia, everybody's so excited. It's time to set up the tent. I packed the tent, but I didn't pack the tent poles.
Oh man.
Yeah,
Oh, my God.
And those
When
are important sticks.
That's the most important part of the tent. I mean, other than that, you just
Yes.
have a tarp.
Did you see
Okay,
the
yes.
sticks? Did you see the sticks when you were packing? You're like, I probably don't need those. What was the thought there?
No, when you unpack the tent, everything is in the bag, but when it's time to pack it, nothing fits.
Right.
Yeah.
So when we packed the tent, I just put the tent back in there. The sticks, I don't know where they were.
I like that you're blaming the tent manufacturers instead of
Well,
your
it
own.
is ridiculous, though. You can
It does
never
not
fit it
well.
back in there.
Yeah, why don't they make the bag a little bigger?
Just
It doesn't have to be
just
the world.
a little
like
bit.
2 inches bigger and your life is good.
Yeah, it is funny. They're like, let's go ahead and eliminate all the fabric that you could possibly use this again for.
People are going to be as efficient as factories, right? People are going to be able to roll something as well as a machine.
It's like they're
no
doing
problem.
it as an FU to us. They're like, pack it right.
Yeah, they know
Fit
we
it.
can't. All right, that's Maria. I
I
don't know.
don't think she's an idiot.
You're not an idiot, Maria. That's just called a human error right there, but that's okay. Dave, welcome to K-Rock, 800-520-1067. Am I an idiot with Ben Gleeb? Everyone's done something recently that would make them think they're idiotic, but we will determine if you are an idiot. What's up, Dave?
All right, let me know if I'm an idiot. So I put gasoline in the fireplace at my house. Threw the match down, big fireball came out. Lit my eyebrows on fire. Not only my eyebrows, I lit the family portrait of my family on fire as well. Am I an idiot?
Why did you put gas in the fireplace? Was that like your way of doing kindling, or was just like trying to go viral?
You high? What's going on over there?
Well, at the time, we didn't have no gas, so I was trying to keep the house warm.
Oh.
So,
What do you
am I
mean,
an
a
idiot?
gas can? You're pouring liquid gasoline into a fireplace?
Yeah, I put my gas can, put it all over the
I mean, with the cost of gas these days, I would have to say you're an idiot.
jealous.
Just for wait, that's a real flex.
Was
right
this
there.
pre or post closing of the Strait of Hormuz?
I don't think he's going to know what it is.
Yeah,
That's okay.
I'm not
You
sure
can
he'll
skip
know
that
that.
question.
You know what? From now on, the
That
question
silence really tells us a lot about this game.
The question could just be to everyone who calls: what is the Strait of Hormuz?
What is the Strait of Hormuz?
Robert, welcome to Am I an
I
Idiot?
wouldn't even he was an idiot for several reasons, but thanks for calling, Dave.
Well, thank you for your continued
You
support
almost
of the
burned
show.
your house down and your eyebrows.
Hi.
Thanks for calling.
Hi, Robert on K-Rock. Good morning.
Well, yeah, the other day I was baking cookies. So I reached in with my bare hands, pulled out the baking sheet, and then I started to burn my hand. So instead of just putting it down, I put it in my other hand, and then it started to burn my other hand,
Yeah.
and then I threw it on the counter.
That's more of a reflex, though. I feel like everyone has.
No.
Oh.
To shift hands from a burning thing to another hand?
Are you declaring him an idiot?
I mean, and Allie, maybe. Allie, what do you mean? How are you defending shifting a burning thing? Every
think
human
it's a
would throw it
reflex to
down. The reflex is to shift it to the other hand?
I would probably shift it back to the other hand again.
Yeah, Allie, I think
You're
is going
juggling.
Allie's going to win this round of Am I an Idiot? I think somehow.
Oh
It's not
my
even eligible.
818 said there was a time where they were walking out of a bathroom, and then just as they were walking to the exit, they see another girl approaching, coming straight towards them. So I stop, I get out of the way, and just then she stops too and turns the same way. Turns out I was looking at myself in the mirror.
Yeah, that is real idiot behavior right there.
So she was going, excuse me.
Excuse me. By the way, great shirt.
Why is she following
I mean,
me?
even my dog, after a year, learned to recognize his reflection in a mirror. So that's pretty slow.
That's
but,
pretty
But
slow.
if I can go for a quick moment back to callers, I do empathize a little bit with burn the eyebrows off guy because 2 times in my life, not just once, but twice, I was shaving with an electric shaver and had an itch on my forehead and I was too lazy to even just use the other hand to itch, so I just went to itch
with the razor.
With the electric razor in my hand and shaved off half my eyebrow.
Damn.
Two different times.
Oh, well, you're an idiot.
Separated by like 2 decades.
That's how he got booked on the idiot test. For that story right there. Hey,
That's
Jesse,
correct.
we give you the final word. We have to make decisions. Now, everyone claims they're an idiot, but what did you do, Jesse? Go ahead.
Hey, so I was leaving my apartment yesterday, and I didn't want to forget anything, so I took everything that I needed because I was going to the neurologist. I took everything I needed, set it on the kitchen counter so I wouldn't forget nothing, walked out of my apartment, locked the bottom lock from the inside, and then realized I left my keys inside.
Yeah.
To my apartment, to my car. So am I an idiot?
Okay, I'd like to weigh in here. I would have normally said yes, but leaving your keys is fairly common in life, and it's not like you left a pizza on the hood of your car and then drove.
You know what? Why are we bringing
very
this back
far
to me?
It's funny
with
how
the pizza on there.
Allie's been out idioting all the idiots for different reasons.
I haven't had something to bring to you, but now I don't need to.
Ryan, we give you the real final word here. We have to make a decision. Go ahead, Ryan. Hi.
Everyone remember BOD, the body spray for men back in the 90s?
BOD? Vaguely.
Yes. All right, well, I sprayed it on my private area because I wanted to smell good, and it burned the hell out of me, and I've never grown hair ever since.
I was going to bring the same story to you, Ben, but I'll just let you weigh in on this one.
I think this is actually like hidden genius, like to not have to manscape from one adolescent accident, and now you're shorn as can be since '93 down there.
I know. Now you don't have to pay for laser hair removal.
That's kind of a dream situation. I'd say you're like
The
low
pain was
key Einstein.
excruciating.
I don't care about that.
The pain was excruciating. All right, well,
You're
sounds
still living that?
Ben, of all these idiots you heard from, you got to pick one of them. And Allie can't win because she works here. But who is going to be the biggest idiot from the stories you just heard? They're going to win something, maybe even access to check out your show live and in person. Who knows if you want to have this hairless wonder sitting in your living room?
I mean, now I'm very conflicted because I don't want that person in my living room, but the hairless wonder, not this new one, the early hairless wonder, poured gasoline can on the gas fireplace in his own home to create a fireball, is the idiot of the day.
Congratulations. You are an idiot, according to Ben Gleeb. Ben Gleeb, guys, take this seriously. I'm giving you fair warning now. This will be big. It's on YouTube. It's the first ever late night talk show on YouTube.
Uncensored, 100%.
Uncensored. And not only is it going to be, A-listers and comedians and people Ben knows, but also you have some real people on the thought provokers, right?
Yeah, we have thought leaders help elevate people's lives. We have like Dr. Mark Hyman coming on, Andrew Huberman. We have Scott Galloway, Lori Gottlieb, people like that that are going to teach you how to like do things better and change your life in a good way.
We've never been called thought leaders.
No. I understand that.
Yeah, and that is appropriate.
I use that word with Bill Burr, telling him about the show backstage of the Comedy Store, and he was like, "I hate that damn word, thought leaders. What kind of an arrogant, stupid word." So then I brought him on stage. Please welcome one of the thought leaders of our time, Bill Burr. Everybody,
do you love it?
Yeah,
We
he did
appreciate
not
it.
probably love it.
We will we'll do something together. We're on YouTube streaming live. Ben will be there as well, and we'll put up all the information on the socials. Congratulations. Good night with Ben Gleeb. Premieres. The big premiere is May 28th, and if it doesn't get canceled by season 2, Allie and I will still not be invited to be on as guests.
You're invited. You're invited for at least for the post hang and to chill there with us. And one day as guests, if we have like a dropout, and I'm kidding. No, you guys are always welcome.
I'll just chill on the floaty.
Chelsea Handler's in traffic, so can you guys come in here?
Yeah,
All
and
right.
also everybody's welcome. MakeItAGoodNight.com. You can buy a ticket to be in the show, on it with us for the 27th taping of the premiere, or 28th. See it on YouTube. Subscribe. All the links are right there. Chelsea is not going to be on yet, by the way.
Okay.
She will be at some point, but I texted her about the idea before she knew it was like a real thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, would you like to come on? And she said, I'm not interested at all. And I said, what do you mean? She goes, this does not interest me. I go, yeah, but it sounds like you're interested. She's like, no, it is not. And I just texted her the deadline link of it like being legit. She's like, oh, damn, congratulations. Leaving comments on my Instagram. So we'll get back to her.
She seems like she's turning around on this.
Yep.
Quick break, back with your news and more next, Kara.
Klein Alley Show. World famous K-Rock.
K-Rock, we are Klein Alley Show. Let's find out what's going on in the news, and a brand new hour of the show can officially begin.
Grab your Adderall. It's time for A.D.D. News.
So maybe you're one of the 23,000 people that are currently evacuated because of that Sandy fire. Maybe you live 20 miles away and you haven't thought about this fire whatsoever or even a little bit. But it is still actively burning. As of now, it's 5% contained. That's progress. They're trying to make as much progress as possible because the wind is going to pick up again later today.
You ain't got to flame everything.
I know,
Well said.
especially in L.A. Seeing the smoke driving home yesterday definitely, brings up some triggering emotion from obviously the major fires that we had last year. This one is the third biggest of the year. So it's 1,400 acres, which is sizable. The good news, though, is that only one home burned down. It really sucks that one house, the first one to go. 750 firefighters, though, are working their asses off trying to contain the fire. And, I think that if they can make progress today, it would be in pretty good shape. But, of course, these things, even if you feel like it's not on your radar, that could change very drastically in like a 1 hour period.
I'm not great at math, clearly, but sometimes they go, this thing is 20% contained, and then it's 0% contained again. And I have no idea how they even figure that number out, which shouldn't be hard for me to understand. But a lot of times, like yesterday, I was watching some of the coverage, and
you see the helicopter dance, which is like boom, water,
they drop the red stuff, the fire retardant stuff.
But also they were dropping like these big water drops, like one after the other. It was like right on top. It was really beautiful.
I know they saved those specific planes for the fires, but that'd be great on one of those hot summer days if they just announced where the
red
water
stuff?
Not the red stuff.
Oh, okay.
The water drops, like they would say.
Oh, hot. Can you spray me with retardant?
Yeah, not the red stuff. But if they were to say, like in one of those hot, July days we get here, where it just gets like scorching, and they go, everyone, if you want to meet us here, we're going to do a water drop.
Wow.
Just for people to meet up.
It's like 3,000 gallons.
I know.
It's money and water well spent.
I think so. I think it's for the people.
I think they could do that every once in a while, just on all the dry brush.
Just drop some water?
Just drop some water on there every once in a while. Make it wet. Keep it wet, guys.
Keep it wet.
Keep it
That's what we
wet.
say around here.
The racist cop from OJ Simpson trial died, Mark Fuhrman. He was the detective who found the bloody glove at the crime scene when Nicole Simpson and Ron Goldman were murdered. And later, some of the tapes that resurfaced of him saying incredibly racist things counteracted some of his testimony, and the defense accused him of planting the glove at the scene in an effort to frame OJ. And they think this was the turning point of the trial, that this was one of the big reasons why he got acquitted, was because this witness was kind of debunked as being a racist a-hole during the trial. He eventually retired from the LAPD, and he started writing true crime books and even became a radio personality and worked as an expert on Fox News. And he died from an aggressive throat cancer, and there will not be a funeral, which I thought that was so interesting that they're like, no funeral.
The reason that I think people first learned that he was racist, he did this impression of a shoe shine. We have the audio.
He didn't.
This was Mark Fuhrman from the OJ. Listen to this. This I don't believe this
is not real.
This didn't come up in
a shoe shine?
Yeah, so everyone goes,
Oh my God.
And it was a recurring bit.
Yeah.
Shoe shine?
Yeah, he did it a few times.
Okay.
Do it again.
He could use a bit of a shot. He was a radio personality.
And then he was trying to expand that bit, and he did this.
The bayous. The Louisiana bayou. Okay.
So clearly that guy, racist.
That's a Louisiana, New Orleans accent. Okay, if you're familiar with my accent work. I went to school for this.
I thought that was Mark Fuhrman. You're saying that's you, Allie? It's so much worse.
So who do you think is the coolest celebrity of all time? They did a poll on this. They asked Americans who they believe to be the coolest person.
Joshua Jackson.
It is Samuel L. Jackson. He got more than 70% of the vote, thinking that he is at least somewhat cool. And the other people on the list, there was a band. Number 2 on the list was the Beatles. And then you had Michael Jordan, Willie Nelson, Clint Eastwood, and Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. All we can determine from this is that women are not cool. And the least cool person on the list was Kanye West, with still 21% of people saying he's at least somewhat cool.
I think of all the names you just said, I think Willie Nelson is probably the coolest.
You think so?
Yeah, I think so, because he's so old he doesn't care anymore. But
well,
I think
so is Clint Eastwood. He's so old he doesn't care anymore, and he never did.
Yeah, there's a different level
He's
of cool.
got that gristle.
I don't think they make anymore. This was an interesting study because it reported that most Americans think that they are cool.
Yes.
Which is a fascinating stat. Like that most people walking around the streets, if you were to ask them, do you think you're cool? They said, of course.
We got to send Jake out on the street to figure that out.
Yeah, that's
because
true.
if somebody were to ask me if I thought I was cool, I'd be like, heck no. There's nothing about me that I think is cool.
Right.
I would say I was when I was smoking.
Right, now you're not anymore.
Yeah,
I quit
maybe
cool.
when I was selling ecstasy to everybody.
Yeah,
and I was
cool.
maybe I was kind of cool.
I think people probably went through a cool phase, maybe, where they thought they were cool.
I don't know. Some people just aren't.
Some people never.
When you used to have naked ladies on the radio show, you were cool back then, Klein.
I knew I wasn't cool then. I had I wanted to feel cool, but I knew deep down I was not cool.
If you want to feel cool, you're not.
Right, exactly. And so, but like Johnny, I'm sure thinks Johnny, you think you're cool? I'm sure Johnny thinks he's very cool right now.
What about
Stop. I was tripped.
Oh, boy. Definitely not
Are
cool.
you guys doing it
You
back
guys
there?
playing footsie?
Stop. I almost tripped. Johnny ran to go to the microphone to say how cool he is. He tripped and fell over.
All right,
So
nerd,
funny.
go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead, Johnny. Yeah, you think you're cool?
Depends what area I'm in.
What does that mean?
If I'm here at K-Rock, I'm like, yeah, I'm like, cool. But if I'm like out and about at like the Los Feliz Flea or like anywhere in Silver Lake, I'm like, man, I'm a chump.
Yeah, you can go to Silver Lake and feel very uncool. Everyone looks real weird and stuff. But
And everyone's like holding
but
coffees.
it's all an
and-
act over there, though. That's what you come to realize. Like when I was younger, I used to hang out in those, in the scene or whatever, and you always feel uncool next to all those people until you get older
Until you
and
sell
you
them
realize.
ecstasy.
Until I sold them ecstasy, yeah, and they were all like so high, they all loved me.
Yeah, and now I'm the cool one because I got the ecstasy.
right.
Well, and you
Yeah.
have to think about what makes a person cool. And I think the I don't give an F vibe, if that is built inside of you, then you have cool built in.
Jake, you think you're cool?
I'm the coolest one on the show, man.
Oh, boy.
God.
On that line.
You know who's cool? The Knight Rider is cool.
Yeah.
This Thursday night, it's the Women's Oil Wrestling
This is
Federation at the Bridge Street Music Hall. You did hear me correctly. Hot chicks in oil.
See you
The hottest
there.
chicks wrestling in oil.
That's
and
cool.
did I mention women in oil?
See you there.
That's cool.
And those
Kevin
girls
the
are cool.
Knight Rider.
Yeah.
That's right. That's the voice of cool right there. Brand new hour of the show starts now.
Low 6.7 KROQ FM in HD Pasadena, Los Angeles, Orange County.
The Sonic Pulse of Los Angeles.
This is the world famous K-Rock.
Good morning. Welcome to your K-Rock just after 10 o'clock. We got lots to get into this hour, including a secret that will help you live forever. I have to go to the courthouse after the show today.
Why?
I'll get into it in a second.
Is it for
but
your car?
It's just this stupid thing that I cannot figure out how to get to the bottom of.
Is it your registration again?
It's gotten a lot deeper than that. You know, first Jake sent me to the CHP office in Glendale, and I went all the way over there, only to find out that it's administrative only. It's not. They don't help people.
It's all the people that were put on leave.
They can't do anything for me there. So then they said you need to go to a sheriff's office. So I went to a sheriff's. I went to the West Hollywood on the way home yesterday. We stopped at the West Hollywood Sheriff, which I think may just be a gay bar. But it's the West.
Hello. You're under arrest.
Let me frisk you.
Yeah. Check your tags.
And I stopped at the West Hollywood Sheriff's Department. Waited for a bunch of ridiculous people in line in front of me that all had, glitter in their eyes or whatever the problems were. And then I got...
I have something else stuck in my butt.
There's a lot of people with stuff stuck in their butts. And they finally got to me, and they go, sir, what's in your butt? I go, nothing. I have this ticket. And they go, there's nothing we can do for you here. You need to
Why?
go to the courthouse. Because everyone's just, it's like a giant
You need
game.
to go to a real court.
Yeah. But would you like a body shot? I said, sure, why not? So now I got to go to the courthouse, but I think the courthouse today is going to tell me I have to go to the DMV. And it's just a
I
giant
feel like
game.
this could be solved if you just read your ticket.
I'm not reading the ticket, Jake.
I'm just going to go to more sheriff stations.
I'm just going to keep driving around until I hit every part of Southern California for someone to help me with this thing. But everyone tells you go somewhere else. You get there and they go,
Can't
we
you
can't
call
help you.
a number?
No, there's no number to call.
I'm sure there is a number.
But, Allie, I'm telling you, has anyone ever read their tickets ever? Come on.
Of course.
It's like a bunch
Are
of
you kidding?
words. I'm not reading it.
We know how reading works, man.
I understand.
Read as word.
Yeah, but the thing is, if you
I'm
just
cool. I don't read.
If you just go to enough places, they'll just tell you where to go, and they'll read it.
If you go enough places.
Talk about a waste of time, dude.
And
You're talking
gas.
about Allie wasting her time. You're just wasting it more time here.
I have another 24. If I don't resolve this issue in the next 24 hours, I believe there's a warrant out. That's
Cool.
what they told me. So I have 24 hours to resolve this thing now, and I've waited till the last possible second. So today, after the show, I go right to the courthouse.
I will say, in Klein's defense, that if you read a ticket, I still learn nothing.
It's crazy. I did actually attempt to, and I don't even know.
I'm like, I don't even know what I'm looking at.
This is supposedly a fix-it situation, and I just want to pay.
You can't fix it.
I just want to pay and be done with it, but I can't do it because I don't even know how to.
You can't pay. You have to fix it. Fix-it tickets don't go away with you paying it.
I'd rather just pay.
No, that's not an
You
option.
have to fix it.
Right.
I can't fix it, Allie.
Why?
What's the issue?
I've been to every goddamn place to try to fix it, and no one can fix it.
What is the issue?
Sounds like you went to 2 places.
I've been to 3 places, and no one can seem to fix it. I went to some DMV Express Center where they supposedly can take care of problems. They can't help me. No one can
It's
help.
not a sheriff's station.
All right. Well, anyway, I'll be at the Abbey after the show today.
With glitter in your eyes.
Klein Alley Show.
Mornings on K-Rock.
Yeah!
K-Rock.
K-Rock, Klein Alley Show. Want to live forever? We've got an old people secret that will help you do that. Of course, living forever is great, except for the fact that when you get old, they start pounding on your door and demanding you tell them the secret to longevity, and maybe you don't have a secret, so you got to make one up. And that's when you determine, do I help the younger generation, or do I give everyone bad intel so they all die off young? It's time for us to bring you a brand new, never-before-heard old people secret so you too can live forever. Here we go.
From chicken brain to drinking rain, not getting laid, they call me the barmaid.
They call me the barmaid.
That's right. Let's live forever with Sweet Dibbit.
Sweet Dibbit.
Time for some old people secrets.
It's time for us to check in with the elderly and hopefully live forever.
On this edition of Zoomer News, we've made our way here to the terraces of Baycrest.
Now, I don't know why we don't call this thing Zoomers News. We should be, because that's what they do whenever they check in with the old elderly community, and they're heading to a old people's community right now, which seems great.
Going to an old people's community?
Not as an old person going there where you're forced to because your family doesn't love you anymore and they put you there, but where, you know, if you're young enough to enjoy all the amenities, it's kind of like, seems pretty cool.
Dude, I accidentally have applied to stay at an old person's home one time because all the amenities seemed awesome. It was affordable. They had like a bocce ball court, they had tennis courts, a nice little pool with those little floaty weights. And then you realize it's for old people only.
Right. And
they have all the fun.
A lot of old people don't even want to take advantage of the amenities because they just want to sit around and stare at their window and yell at the clouds and stuff.
And say, you never call.
Never call.
Chat with a super senior who at 103 years young still definitely puts the zip in Zoomer.
There's no zip in Zoomer.
So that's a young person technically that gave us that tease, but she puts the zip in Zoomer. She's 103, and here we go.
Oh, the street. Hello, everyone. I am Kitty Cohen.
This is Kitty.
Kitty Corn?
Kitty Corn.
Is that her name?
That's her condition. That's her skin condition. That's how they identify first. She's got suffers from kitty corns. It's hard to walk.
And I'm not your average centenarian. This is what the cancer people gave me last year.
How many years did you do that walk?
Since 2008.
So you used to do 44 kilometers.
Yeah, in 2 days, yeah.
Hey, Kitty!
So she is one of them walkers, and now we talk more and more about how walking a lot is the one thing, regardless of all these other stupid secrets we've been told over the years.
Active grannies are it, man.
It's the walking.
Yeah.
And some of them you try to
gotta keep the blood flowing.
I saw an old person walking around with one of those, I thought it was a weighted vest. But I think if you put a weighted vest on an old person, it would just absolutely crumble them, right, to their core.
Everyone has those weighted vests, though, now.
Everyone. I guess you
Are
don't
you sure it was not like a life alert situation?
Oh, it may have been a life vest in case she fell in a puddle or something. That's what it was. But anyway, so they're walking around.
And that's when I became popular. Even getting to
So everyone's now loves her because she walks around and she waves, and she's one of those walkers that's become kind of like a bit of a well-known
staple
entity.
Darren, get over here. We're going to play Scrabble.
Oh.
She's very aggressive and very demanding.
How close to the mic is she?
Very close to
That's
the
definitely
mic.
code for sex.
Yeah.
Darren, get over here. We're going to play Scrabble.
No.
Not again. We played Scrabble twice today.
Yes, ma'am, whatever you say.
He leads you to the water. One of the things that I can give you to take home, keep working on your muscles. You know, get up in the morning and stretch.
So she's one of these active old people.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that Lelaine guy.
What?
That whoever that guy Jack LaLanne was, that old guy that used to try to sell you on the juicers, and there was always a bunch of old people that were chugging juice and stuff.
There are some old people though where they are not even upright anymore. Like they can't even
they're
stand
hunched.
up. Yes, and the fact that they're able to still do stuff is incredible.
But they have that weird old person strength. If you ever shaken the hand of an old person, they will crush your bones.
Yes,
which
I
is
know.
weird because there's, like, they get blown over by a breeze,
And I'm
but
like,
they will
nice to meet you.
shake your hand. It's like,
That's why the grip's so hard.
Yeah.
'Cause you can't fall over.
And they look at you in the eye like they're staring you down. That was like the main form of respect then, was eye contact.
eye contact and a firm handshake.
Take your girlfriend dancing?
I got a problem with that. I'm not a very good dancer.
I don't think that's the problem.
And I'm gay.
I think it's the girlfriend part. So she's trying to give advice to the newscaster.
Take your girlfriend dancing?
I got a problem with that. I'm not a very good dancer.
Take lessons.
And my girlfriend has a huge D. So
I like
Step
$10
together.
history.
Step. Touch. Oh, there was an old hen who had a wooden leg. The best old hen who ever laid an egg. She could lay more eggs than any on the farm. And another little drink wouldn't do us any harm.
God, songs made no sense.
no sense. Right?
What is
But
she talking about?
who
A
knows?
wooden
That's-
leg and a hand and a
At
an
that
egg?
point, you go, she's senile. Just cut off the meds. But this is a song that probably meant a lot to her when she was a kid. So.
Today, there are over 7,000 centenarians across the country. In fact, between 2006 and 2011, centenarian population growth was over 25%.
So we got to start being nicer, Allie, because this is going to be the huge boom now. I thought that life expectancy was going down, but apparently it's just going up.
Yeah, I know.
So
This continual increase in longevity is gaining such momentum. Some experts say that half the babies born today could live to be 100.
Man, do you think your kid is going to live to be 100?
I thought that some of the kids being born now are going to live to like 130.
What?
I thought that was the big one.
That's too long.
So anyway, what is her secret? We're going to listen to that in a moment. She's already given you some intel, Allie. What do you think her secret is to living to 103?
I think I think she's just going to say keep on dancing. It's going to be simple. It's going to be simple, yeah.
What is her secret, Omar?
She's something about exercise. Dude. She loves to exercise.
All right.
She was like doing push-ups and stuff.
Exercise. What do you believe her secret is, Jake?
Drink with the hens.
Drink with the hens. All right. And how about you, Vanessa?
Fruits and vegetables.
All right. This is her.
you.
This is her secret.
The best old hen who ever laid an egg. She could lay more eggs than any on the farm.
There you have it. I don't know what it is, but do that.
Hey, it's Billy Corgan from the Smashing Pumpkins.
Listen at 9, noon, 3, and 6 for your chance to win tickets to see the Smashing Pumpkins on the Rats in a Cage tour, November 12th, Kia Forum.
We now like to play a song for you that you might have heard on K-Rock.
Wanna go for a ride? 2 unique sets celebrating 30 years of Mellon Collie and the Infinite Sadness and nearly 4 decades of unruly hits and dark treasures, courtesy of Live Nation.
All week on K-Rock. Win tickets to see us. Thank you, K-Rock.
Listen at 9, noon, 3, and 6 to win tickets to the Smashing Pumpkins at Kia Forum.
Only on the world-famous K-Rock.
Hey, Rock, Klein Klein Alley Show. In moments, we give you the chance to call and battle Johnny's slow brain and a little round of Johnny Doesn't Know. Up for grabs. We get you to Warner Brothers. This is pretty cool. You get to be a part of the all-new Superman experience. Book your tour right now at wbstudiotour.com. You can do the full tour. You could just do the Superman experience or a combination of both. We just did it recently. It's a lot of fun. Jake wants everyone to know that he won. At the end of your battle with Superman, they do decide who was the best fighter. And Jake
get him in the D.
Jake has the high score, even though he spent a lot of time punching virtual Superman in the D, which I don't think is part.
I lost points for going away from my shield. You can lose points for that.
Yeah, and Allie accidentally punched the screen, which they tell you many times not to do. But it's a lot of fun, and if you would like to try to beat Jake, do you remember what your score was? It was in the hundreds of thousands.
No, I think it was like 2 billion.
Jake claims the highest score in the history of the interactive experience. So please go there and beat Jake so someone can rub it in Jake's dumb face. And it's not that hard to beat him. I mean, think about this. I was looking at the socials, Allie, of our event. We just put a bunch of pictures up of our hang at Randy's Donuts last week. This guy brought up an interesting point about what it means to win versus lose.
Hey, guys, just calling because I went to Randy's Donuts on Thursday, and I got a glazed donut. I just wanted to say it took me longer to eat the donut than the fight actually lasted.
Yes.
Have a good one. Love you guys.
It's true. That fight was a 17-second fight that happened with Ronda Rousey over the weekend.
Did you see those memes that were like, this could have been an email?
Yeah, didn't have to be this whole event.
Like what? And people feel totally ripped off. But I guess you can't control the outcome, right? She wanted to win and she did.
Check out some of the footage right now up on our Instagram at Klein Alley Show while you're there. Billy Corgan, who stopped by to hang with us earlier today, and other things from today's show, including Allie's hot cousin. Did we get the picture up of your hot cousin? Was it posted?
Oh, yes, because I'm getting texts about it.
All right, so Allie's hot cousin has been posted on Instagram. If you missed her earlier today, she was on with us to talk about her pre-Vegas rituals, and there's a lot of them.
Yeah.
So you can check out that. All reasons to go check out everything happening right now at Klein Alley Show.
And according to Jake, a good goddamn.
Yeah. Oh, did he put that comment there as well? I know he said it out loud.
Yeah.
You like her, Jake?
Comments on this.
Banana.
Oh my God.
Gross. That's my cousin, dude.
Yeah, that's for Allie. That's for Allie to perv on only.
Hold on, let me perv on it. Let's see.
If you'd like to join us, we'll do some Johnny Doesn't Know. Get you
Goddamn.
Get you the Superman experience. 800 51067.
Klein Alley Show.
Mornings on K-Rock.
Yeah!
K-Rock.
Klein Alley Show. Postmaster Johnny's entered the studio. If you can smell the dumb in the air, that means you have a chance to win yourself into the Superman experience with a question that will be Superman-based. And, you know, Johnny, we would think better than general knowledge, you should do okay with this because you claim that you know a lot about movies and you know a lot about things that have been parodied on SpongeBob or Family Guy, right?
Yeah, 100%. Davy Jones? Yep.
So, like Superman, if someone were to say, it's a bird, it's a plane.
It's a star flying by.
God. If you don't know that one, he's not going to know the actual question.
Well, you don't know it's a bird, it's a plane, it's
not Superman.
It's not. Well, I know what it's not. It's not Superman.
It's definitely the first elimination.
It couldn't be
It's
him.
a bird, it's a plane, it's not Superman. That would definitely fool the bad guys. Let's get to it. It's time for Johnny Doesn't Know.
Johnny doesn't know.
And I was like, okay.
Oh, Johnny doesn't know.
I didn't know Vegas was like in Nevada for like a while.
Johnny doesn't know. Johnny doesn't know.
Gelato sounds like Jello.
Johnny doesn't know.
It like goes wiggles.
All right. Give one person a shot, win their way into the Superman experience happening right now at Warner Brothers. Tickets, wbstudiotour.com. And go ahead and try to beat Jake's high score. We say hi to Yisha. Good morning and welcome to K-Rock. Hi.
Hi. How are you guys?
I'm doing fine, doing okay. All you have to do, you don't need to know the answer to this question. You just need to know if Johnny will know the answer to this question. It is a Superman question, and Johnny had a hard time with the it's a bird, it's a plane, it's Superman, so I don't know if he'll get this one. Johnny, the question is, Superman, one of the official mottos of Superman is truth, justice, and what? Will Johnny know this, yes or no?
I'm going to say yes.
Wow.
All right. Usually people regret that when they say that, but okay, let's give you the shot.
The
Johnny.
man who just said it's a bird, it's a plane, it's not Superman?
Truth, justice. Hold on, he's got his fingers out now. I don't know what he's doing on his fingers. Usually,
I was counting off the statement. So you said there's truth.
Truth, justice, and what?
It kind of sounds like the American Constitution. And his costume's red, white, and blue. And he's pretty...
No, it's not.
He's red and blue. There's like
red
some
and
white...
blue.
Red, blue, and yellow.
Oh, red, blue, yellow. So I feel like it's going to be something patriotic. So...
Even though your red, white, and blue thing doesn't really make sense? Or?
I'm stumbling a little bit. But what did he say again? What were the other two?
Truth, justice,
and the pursuit of happiness.
Oh.
And the pursuit of
A
happiness.
little pivot.
I'm going to say that is wrong, but I will help you a little bit more because I want this guy to win. Truth, justice, and a better what? Will Johnny know this? You're still going to say yes.
I'm going to say yes.
All right.
Wow.
He's sticking with yes. I've given you all the words now except for one of them. If he is not able to get this, he says yes. We'll give this to someone else. Truth, justice, and a better
world.
Better world. It's not right.
World.
Dude.
What is the answer?
Tomorrow.
And a tomorrow?
And a better tomorrow.
And a better tomorrow?
Truth, justice, and a better tomorrow.
He didn't say that in the movie last year.
He was a pessimist.
That's right. You didn't know that.
No.
He never said that?
He didn't say that in the movie last year.
That's the new version.
That's the new one. But the other one he didn't get right either. I mean, you got that right, 0. You didn't even get the old one right. That's the new one. That changed in early 2021. I think they changed that one.
They did?
Yeah. Because they realized. What was the one before that, Jake? Truth better. It was Johnny's wrong on all counts. You think Johnny knows the newspaper?
Hey, let's see if Klein knows. Wait, does Klein know?
That's not the game, Jake. It's not this Klein now. And I have the answers all right here because I write the questions.
Well, why are you asking me that?
He's asking you what it used to be.
Yeah, well, that's what I was saying. Yeah, you're the nerd guy.
Yeah, truth, justice, and the American way.
That's what I thought it was
is
the
that
American way.
Yeah.
Because then you said the American Constitution, and I was like, well, he's close.
Do you think Johnny knows what Superman's name is when he's not Superman?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's Clark.
Clark what?
Damn. Grill him. First, last name? What do you want, his social security number too?
It's a pretty well-known full name.
Wow. I'm just going to give you Clark. Clark sounds... That's his name.
That is a name. All right. Yeshi, sorry, we tried to hook you up with these tickets, but sadly you predicted Johnny would know, and he did not, which means caller 20 right now. If you plan on saving the world with the help of Superman, and you'd like to go to the Superman experience at Warner Brothers Studios, please give us a call, 800-520-1067. Clark Kent.
Oh, I was close.
That's Johnny's brain.
Klein Alley Show.
Who won those tickets, Vanessa? John from West Covina, is that right? Did I get that right? John from West Covina, congratulations. You'll be enjoying some Superman experience. Warner Brothers, go beat Jake's score, please, so that Jake will stop bragging about the fact that he scored 2 billion points or whatever it was. Let's do takeaways. Oh, Allie, I did want to play you a couple of these messages on the GOAT line.
Insulting or?
Insulting to me, which I think you'll enjoy.
My favorite guys love the show, but I have to tell you, man, Kevin, you are a little bitch. This is why your kids are monsters. You don't discipline them. You should have immediately called the kids' parents and ended the play date early and made them come get their kid.
Wow.
This was about the story I told yesterday where a kid came over to my house and took a toy and chucked it at my TV and broke my TV, and I haven't said anything to the kid's parents yet about it.
And you still aren't going to after we talked about it?
No, now I've been peer pressured into saying something,
Okay,
I think. But I'm not going to do it. Well, the kid left some stuff at my house, so the dad sent me a message and said, "Hey,
break it all."
I may break the kid's stuff. That's what I'm going to do. Take a dump in his backpack and hand it over."
That would be so.
Your kid broke.
Still don't explain.
Your kid broke my TV.
Kid pooped in his own backpack.
Taking a giant man dump in his backpack. Here you go. No, I think when I exchange the backpack back, I'm going to say something. I am, but I'm not happy with it.
Your daughter needs to know that it's not okay, or she's going to keep destroying your house and peeing on your floor and breaking your stuff. That kid needs to know that it's not okay, and then you can't go over to people's houses and break their stuff.
That's true. Very important. You cannot go to people's houses and break their stuff, especially not a man's TV. You do not break another man's TV.
He's got a great arm, though.
It was really incredible, too. He broke it with... I mean, it threw at it, but it was not that big of a toy, but it shattered that thing.
Otani's son? Who is this guy?
Yeah, I know. Maybe he's got a good arm.
Should draft him early.
Cool.
Let's do takeaways from today's show, and then we'll officially get the hell out of here. And Slug will be in with more of those tickets for you to go see Smashing Pumpkins. Thanks again, Billy Corgan, for joining us on the show today. And here we go. What do we got?
Okay, 626, my takeaway is women are not cool. 310, my takeaway is Clark is a name. 424, playing Scrabble is code for sex. 818, John Hamm has a huge hog. 323, my takeaway is Wesley is a Poogers in training. 562, my takeaway is at the age of 42, I am undesirable. And 562, my takeaway is, God damn!
Yeah,
God damn!
Allie's cousin just got 25,000 new followers in the last 5 minutes because of Allie's cousin. Allie's hot Vegas cousin.
Who I'm going to Vegas with this weekend.
Allie said a lot of people suggesting Allie wears a GoPro on her 5-head and just follows around her cousin and lets us all watch the live stream of her hot cousin doing
Thanks,
things.
guys.
Break the stream.
Put a GoPro on my 5-head. I clearly got the good genes in the family.
Yeah. Who's hotter, your hot sister or your hot cousin? That could be a real toss-up.
I don't know. It'll have to be a competition for the ages. We'll have to get them both in here.
We're going to have to settle this the old-fashioned way, on a trampoline, right? What's your takeaway from today's show, Vanessa?
FU wins.
FU wins.
That's right. FU wins, whatever she said. Johnny, takeaway?
Billy Corgan and the Vegas Sphere are twins.
That's right. Can't tell them apart. That's why he wants to play that place. You have a takeaway, Jake.
Yeah, homeless Tim knows ticks.
Homeless Tim from the park knows ticks. Allie, takeaway?
My takeaway is being polite hurts.
It does.
You know
lot.
firsthand.
And finally, DJ Omar Khan, takeaway from today's show.
My takeaway is that scoops are truly unnecessary.
Yeah, in Allie's world, scoops, don't need
Optional.
it. You were born with them. They're called your hands and dirty fingers. Have a great day. We'll do it tomorrow. Try to do it better. If you need us in the meantime, there's a goat line for you, 844-956-GOAT. Stick around. Sluggo's in here in moments on K-Rock.
Klein and Ellie, it's just okay. Do-do-do. Klein and Ellie, it's just okay.
Wow.
Klein and Ellie, it's just okay. Just okay. Do-do-do. 1, 2, 3, go!
Ellie Show mornings.